Hello everybody, and welcome. Welcome to another Monster Hunter stream. I hope you guys are doing well tonight, and welcome to another episode of the Monster Hunter Cafe Cast. We're going to be talking with our friend Phalacin this evening about Monster Hunter Rise, among other topics. It's going to be a good time. I had a pretty nice day today. I hope you guys did too. I'm going to give you guys some beans here, and we'll get rolling here shortly. I'm going to go ahead and we'll bring in Mr. Phal here in just a moment. And get rolling on another podcast. Welcome all of y'all. Thanks for being here tonight. And as soon as Phalacin unmutes, we'll be ready to go. We gotta figure out like a different way of doing this, I think. I don't mind this, but there's gotta be a professional way of being like, you ready? Yeah. You ready? Yeah. Let's go. Nefudis, Jainabas, Churrito, Iced Tea. Welcome all of y'all. Yeah, it should be a good time. For those of you who weren't here last time, my capture card that I used to capture the Wii U for our 3 Ultimate podcasts has been on the fritz. It's been breaking. So, yeah, this time we're streaming off the PC for Rise.
When I undeafened, you were cataclysmically loud and gave me a gigantic fright. It's like I didn't anticipate there would be another person on the end of my... It's a whole thing.
Well, that's a pretty good start, isn't it, Phal?
Well, you know, it just gave me a little fright, you know?
All right.
Now, you can't see it, but it looks like I'm conjuring this fire, but backwards into my own head on my screen.
Here, let me see here. There you go. I've got you framed up the right way now as well.
Yeah, it's so cool.
All right,
Go me.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Monster Hunter Cafe Cast. We're going to be playing some Monster Hunter Rise tonight. I was just informing the folks in my chat that we're over in Rise tonight for a couple of reasons. One is just both me and Phalacin have been playing this game recently, but also because my capture card that I used to stream the Wii U has been on the fritz. It's been broken, as you would know if you caught the last cast that went a little haywire. So in the meantime, while I get a new one of those, we're going to be streaming some Rise here while we talk.
Yeah. Also, because Rise is baby game and I don't have to pay attention.
Yeah. Phalacin specifically requested that we play this game so we could talk a little better.
Did I? Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
You called it an easy baby game.
Yeah, I should probably not do that.
It's okay.
Alrighty.
It is.
Alrighty. I'm excited to be doing it today. Hello, Rist chat. Hello,
Hi.
my chat. I hope you're all
Hi,
doing
Phal.
well today. I hope you're ready for another episode of the Monster Hunter Cafe Cast. I hope you all have a respective hot beverage in keeping with the theme. If you've enjoyed the anime intro, we're going to do some fun Rise. Look, obviously, if you haven't worked out that I don't think Rise is a baby game by now, you know, you've been watching a different podcast the entire time. That's all I got for you. And of course, you know, we start with some light defamation, as is typical of Rist Chronicles. Tut. Poor Shane.
I'm just gonna move on from that, Mr. Phal. So how have you been?
Yeah, no.
How have you been the last handful of weeks here since we last casted? What's your life and your streams been like?
You know, life, hard pass on that answer. Streams have been super fun though. I've been playing a myriad different games. I've been returning to Monster Hunter World quite a bit, and it's been really fun to sort of contrast that with Rise and sort of look at how those two work really well in tandem together. Other than that, I'm just getting excited for Elden Ring, baby.
It's soon, isn't it?
And yeah, it's on the 25th.
Oh wow, this month.
Yeah, we're RP walking. Yeah, it's really soon.
Wow.
It's been cool. Oh, look at us go. We're RP walking under the cherry blossoms. Now that's an anime intro.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's real close. I'm also gearing up for a ridiculous stream next Friday, in which we're gonna beat all 6, you know, Demon Souls to Sekiro in one sitting.
That sounds
That's
insane.
I'm not sure I'm capable, but I'm gonna give it a red hot go.
I was gonna say I don't think I'm enough of a gamer to do that myself.
I don't think I'm enough of a gamer to do it myself, but, you know, what do you know? That's life, baby. And how about yourself? How's the world treating you? How's the world of Twitch treating you?
I've been pretty alright. I've been enjoying playing this game. I've been going through some some periods of just being like, I'm not sure exactly what it is I want to be doing on Twitch this coming season and year. I'm not sure what Monster Hunter game I want to play. I'm not sure what exact challenges I want to take on this year. So I've been thinking about that both on stream and off as of late, which has been fun.
Yeah, I think 2022 is definitely, we're sort of people have been cooped up for so long. That yearning for something different definitely comes within the new year. Definitely, it's like certainly subconsciously. I know I feel it, and I've felt motivated to provide, better content and things of that ilk. Just as a change of the new year, even though it is, physically not anything, but sentimentally the new year stuff. It'll get you. It'll get you motivated. It'll get you existential, but sometimes in a good way.
Yeah, I guess.
So I think
sorry. I didn't mean to
I
interrupt you there.
I was just saying the way you feel is natural. There was no interruption. It's all good.
Sure. I wanted to extend that particular question, just how you guys been doing, to folks in chat. Feel free and fill in if there's been anything in the last couple weeks, whether it's Monster Hunter related or not, that was like, I don't know, something really nice from, or not even something nice, just, I don't know, feel free and mention how you've been doing if you'd like to. I think, Phalacin, would you like to choose a warm-up quest? I know I'm a little further into this Rise file than you are. I think tonight we don't have any big overarching goals for the Monster Hunter gameplay aside. Just have a good time together. So feel free and cue something up as we begin here.
Let's do it. But yeah, I encourage everyone in my chat and Rist to consider how the new year's making you feel. I encourage writing down those thoughts as well, and maybe looking at them in a month. See how you feel then. So, New Year's blues, forgive my French, can hit like a bitch. Lord knows, particularly this year, it's probably obliterating some people. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah. I'm excited to do a cheeky little Zinogre to start off the day. I think
should be a good time. Shadow Upon the Tempest got a new kitten. I saw a picture in my Discord the other day, which is pretty cute.
What's her name?
I don't know what the kitten's name is. What's the kitten's name, Shadow Upon the Tempest?
Ruchi, I'm proud of you. Proud of everyone for just getting out of bed today.
Yeah. Sometimes that's really all you need. Or like, not just all you need, but that's really all you can do.
Absolutely.
Ember, huh? That is a good name for a kitten.
Yeah. One thing I would like to sort of preface this cast with, because I know I can sometimes come off like I'm being a bit of a detractor or attempting to be a contrarian. A lot of the approach to the topics today are going to apply to how we interface with media in general, and sort of not just Monster Hunter, but a way that, for me personally, and that's the important thing, it's very personal, sort of philosophically, how I've been approaching the series and how I've been feeling better about Monster Hunter as a result. So I just sort of wanted to get that out there. Sorry if that seemed
you're good. That's a good way of introducing some of the optics through which we'll be viewing some topics tonight. And I think it's going to be interesting because you revisited World, and it's having a pretty substantial effect in terms of your thinking about the series. I did that a couple months ago, and I think I felt pretty differently, and I'm also feeling a little differently about, like, I don't have a super clear picture of what it is I want to be doing in Monster Hunter at the moment. Aside I'm enjoying Rise PC, but I want to come up with something that I'm really excited to work at and learn and practice and go through, so... I don't know. I think we're coming at today's discussions from some pretty different angles, and that should be a good time.
Yeah, as always, I hope that you guys get something out of it, and it helps you sort of consider how you feel about video games in general. I think my audio might be way too loud. Let me quickly.
Yeah, you go right ahead.
While expertly dodging Zinogre, I might add.
I was gonna say I got this, and then I got kind of decked in the face, so maybe I don't got this.
Okay.
I would like to own up to the fact that I'm using some early high rank armor, but this is a low rank weapon, Mr. Fowl.
That's fine. Use what it look. We both played Rise before. It doesn't matter, you know. I did the village. Oh, I'm going to die.
Oh no.
Oh, it's not good.
I think you should be safe back there. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, I played through on my second character the village without armor. I beat it, so now I'm like, yep, challenge done, baby. I did all of the high rank stuff without armor that I wanted to do on Switch, so yeah, it's sort of just learning new weapons now. Speaking of learning new weapons, I always forget What do the 3 essences do for Insect Glaive?
So white buff is going to increase your movement speed, and it joins any other essence that you have together. Like, it amplifies the other essences. If you have red or orange, they'll get amplified once you get white. Red gives you your attack combos, and I believe attack buff, and then orange gives you, I believe, earplugs and a defense boost. There are maybe some additional things I can't think of off the top of my head, but chat members will certainly clarify if I've forgotten them.
I'm certain that they will. Yeah, Insect Glaive is not something I ever really touched, but I've been a bit more interested in it lately.
Whoops.
Also, how's the audio on my end?
Your audio seems fine to me. Oh, you're asking your chat.
Yeah, I was making sure that the music wasn't too loud. I was making sure I was loud enough, making sure you're loud enough, making sure that we're all good.
Yeah. I think I've been playing through Rise recently. That's the main thing I've been playing recently on Twitch. Aside a brief visit to Monster Hunter Freedom last night, which was fun. But this is my first time ever really replaying a Monster Hunter game anywhere. Like, I've played a little bit of World more than once, but this is my first time replaying a Monster Hunter game anytime close to when I first initially played it, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah, does it feel like, do you feel you're having some sort of different impressions about it?
Not really. I have about the same impressions. Things are holding pretty steady. I'm enjoying playing through that wire bugs because it's making me realize that I really do enjoy the underlying fundamentals of the combat system in this game, despite it not always being the most balanced when you use all the mechanics. Ooh. Hey, look how in sync we were.
Some of the monsters were very clearly designed with the wire bugs in mind. How do you feel about that?
I haven't really reached a lot of those fights yet. I'm still pretty early on. Like, I'm midway through high rank right now, so I haven't reached some of the final bosses and really difficult monsters that might require wire bugs in that way.
Like, just sort of interestingly on that point, not as a requirement necessarily, but when you consider certain moves from Somnikon, certain moves from Ghost Harada, those guys really sort of benefit from having those wire bug moves. But yeah, I'm interested to see.
Shoot. I got hit by the uppercut. I'm a baddie.
It was.
Oh, I'm very stunned.
It's okay, he's tail swiping me. Anyway, it sounded like you were going to say, alright, explain your wackadoodle opinion.
I don't know, just that it's very different playing through a Monster Hunter game that you've played through recently. I feel a little bit less motivated to do some of the things that I've done in recent playthroughs. Like, collect a bunch of gear. I feel like I've collected a lot of this gear already on the Switch, so I find it a little bit harder to do that when it takes a long time to farm up all 14 weapons worth of gear.
Yeah, that's Sorry, please.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, Papa Aquarius in my chat asked how you put the game with damage numbers off. There is an option right in the game settings that says display damage.
I think that they might be asking you, like, you know, how do you do it?
Oh, okay. How do you do it? You look up hit zones on monster. Like, the first time you play against a monster, you don't know what the hit zones are. Like, you don't know if you're dealing good damage or not. You can have a hunch, but you're not certain. I was trying to hit you and help. I did not help. And then after that, you look at the hit zone charts either in-game or on a website like Kiriniko or in a program like Pingsdex. And so you learn what parts of the monster are good for what types of damage, and then you commit that to memory.
Yeah, it's funny. I think that shows our sort of differing philosophy to this franchise in general. I have them off because I don't care. I don't want to know. I'm like, I obviously have an understanding of where the good hit zones are, you know.
Oh, we're getting stunned a lot.
Oh. Yeah, I'm dead.
Sorry, friend.
I'm dead. No, it's cool. It's not your fault.
I promised on Twitter in my tweet that only the highest quality of hunts would be had tonight.
Oh, look, you know, I'm just sandbagging you know. But yeah, I think that's that's part of like what I wanted to sort of discuss today regarding like the overarching philosophy to these kind of things, and I think that'll come up a bit in our later topic. But bug me with that one. But don't worry, a nice little warm-up's in. I'm not good with Insect Glaive. It's all good.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
it's all good.
I've been enjoying this game because it really does run well on the PC. I'm just trying to, like, it's funny. I guess this can lead into maybe some of the things we talk about later, but I've been playing Monster Hunter for the last like year or two, where I just try and collect tons of things and try and do as much of the game as possible as I play through. And this is the first playthrough in a while where I don't feel like doing that, and I don't really like remember or know how to play without doing that anymore. It's kind of funny. I feel like you get into these sorts of different ways of enjoyment, which we might talk about a little bit later, and sometimes it can be hard to figure out other ways to enjoy the series, even if you want to.
Yeah, no, that's I do think that, yeah, people sort of can get stuck into a one-note approach to these kinds of things. But, hey, that's life, baby. And it's funny, going back to World, I'm like, I want to collect many weapons just to look at them. Because when I played through my PC file on that, I just breezed through it. I just absolutely zoomed. And now I'm sort of like, I want a build for every weapon. And I have nothing. Nothing at all. Ow. Zin, stop bullying me. Yeah, like Pandemonium's Edge or whatever. By the way, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
No, I'm not talking. I'm just focusing on playing. You're good.
Oh, okay. You're just silent. Got it.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were playing Master Rank. When you mentioned you were collecting weapons just to look at them, I was thinking of my recent experience with that game, where like in low and high rank until the very end of high rank, there are legitimately very few unique designs. And I was like, all right then.
Oh no, I'm just collecting stuff that I've had in previous games. Rathian Gunlance, Rathalos Greatsword. You know, stuff that we all know is cool. You know, the old reliables, if you will.
Those exist in Master Rank. During most of high rank, they don't, which is something that I was surprised to kind of realize. I'd actually kind of forgotten. Like, I knew there were weapons that had like a lot of bone designs, but I thought that was like, or like a lot of like, you know, sort of like samey designs. But I thought that was just for like new monsters, I guess. But no, it's like all weapons up to a certain point in the game. It takes a while before they actually get to parts where they have unique designs to them. It's interesting like that. I'd kind of forgotten.
I will never forgive them for not giving Glavenus, the greatsword monster, his greatsword. He just has a slapped-on design.
Oops, I didn't mean to jump on him. Oh well.
It's part of the game. Jump on.
I've been avoiding doing these when I'm playing solo, but multiplayer I don't care as much. We can get us some free Nargacuga materials.
I require them for sustenance. Yeah, doing that to Zenitjiva is scummy.
I don't know. That's why I was silent for a moment there, because first I made a face because I was like, well, I don't know what Phallacin's talking about, collecting weapons. Because when I was playing through that game, I feel like if I'd played into Iceborne, I would have probably enjoyed a lot of that game a little more. But I didn't have time to play through the whole game, and I just wanted to form some fresh impressions on, I mean, just the base part of that game. And we did, and there aren't that many unique weapon designs. I mean, there are some. There's a select few for each weapon class, but not a lot. So I was a little taken aback when you said that was one of your reasons. But I know you're playing in Master Rank. You're playing a previous file that's already at the point of the game where you can go and get lots of neat stuff. You have access to lots of cool things that are fun to collect. Someday when I play through that game again, I'm looking forward to getting to that point.
Yeah, no, that's it's definitely one of the interesting aspects of it. That's for sure. Oh man, I had a train of thought that I was gonna go on.
I'm sorry.
It's gone forever now.
I can move us on to our next topic if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, leading off of the fact that both Phal and I have played some Rise recently, and both of us have revisited World, we're going to be talking a little bit. This is a topic prompted by Mr. Phal about how the differences between those two games, Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter World, both being 5th generation games but kind of taking different tacks in a lot of different ways, highlight each other's strengths while helping them both feel kind of unique or fresh from one another. And I just, seeing as you kind of launch this topic, I want to hear what you have to say about that, and I'll chip in.
Yeah, you know, checks notes, prepared speech. I think this is one of the really interesting things that I'm thinking regarding like World and Rise. And I do want to preface, like, given I started with 3U, I didn't sort of fully get into the series until World. That was the game that really suckered me in. And going back to World, and after having so recently played Rise, it's given me a really good opportunity to sort of assess how, in the generations of Monster Hunter, there's always sort of two distinct games, you know, third gen, and there's some gray areas in that, but let's say there's two distinct games per one, each with sort of core tenets, which is something we've touched on in the cast before, but I think it's no better exemplified than in 5th gen, and I gotta say, I love it. I hope that they continue that approach of the of World having the more traditional gameplay, obviously with some difference, but you know, afford me that it is more traditional than Rise. And then Rise is sort of and I don't mean this as like a dirty word, but it's more spin-offy. And I think that it's good that we can have those sort of two distinct games, so the formula never feels stale. It always feels fresh, and it always feels like it's moving forward. And I think that while I prefer World as the game, both of them existing at the same time gives me context to enjoy Rise more. It gives me the ability to not be like, oh, they're ruining Monster Hunter, they're making it too fast, they're making it too this, that, or the other. It's a different game at that point. It's a new take on a formula that we love, but it's obviously very different to, you know, Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I think that's something that I think that's something we've touched upon in the podcast a few times, is that there's sort of a pretty clear distinction between a couple different game design philosophies that get bandied back and forth. Wow, he's fast. Bandied back and forth. Oh, jeez. Wow, that was an interesting way for that move to go. But one of the distinctions you can draw is between sort of like an A or a B team, or a mainline or a spin-off, or a home console and a portable entry. And it is kind of interesting to try and think about that and go, yeah, I guess that is something that has been decently consistent. And I don't know, I think it'll be interesting to see if it continues on the way it has in this generation. I think, yeah, it'll be neat to see. Do you want to give some? Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think I've said this a whole bunch of times, but I think 6th gen will be, in my opinion, the defining generation of Monster Hunter. And maybe I'm you know, fluffing it up a bit there, but I sincerely feel that way. I think that they've been headed in that direction for a long time, and even if indistinctly, I think that the reason I say Rise or 5th gen in general sort of has that more clear distinction is because while it's, you know, present in GU and like 4U, for instance, the distinction is not as clear, and therefore it's easier to just sort of fall into that trap of, oh, you know, GU's just a worse game in 4th gen. And, you know, my argument would be that both of them existing creates this sort of landscape where everyone can sort of have what they want. And to sort of fall away from that philosophy of when all you have is a hammer, everything begins to look like nails. So I'm really sort of trying to embrace the differences between all of these things, even if I prefer that more traditional style. I think Rise existing it's a nice palate cleanser for the series just in general. And that's more or less where I'm coming from. Not so much on the design philosophy of because obviously we've discussed about that before, and I don't want to tread old ground, you know, forever. It's more just how it makes you as the player, how it gives you that sort of player option. And one comment I've been getting increasingly sort of, for lack of a better term, agitated with, is the sentiment of I miss XYZ from old games. And it bothers me so much because it's like, you don't have to miss it, you know? It's beating on the door. It's saying, I'm here. Like, come play me. They're like, oh, please, you know, oh, I miss Freedom Unite hit zones. You don't have to, man. Freedom Unite's there. You can play it. You can enjoy it. I miss, you know, World Hunting Horn. World, that was nice, a sick dunk. Insect Glaive. OP. But yeah, that's
on the other,
that's something that I've been thinking about.
On the other side of that coin, I understand like wishing that the things that you whatever your things that you prioritize in the series are, wishing that those were the things that the team was also iterating on still. But I don't think it's a reasonable expectation for them to make sort of the same thing over and over. I don't think it's a reasonable expectation to expect any game design team to just make the same thing over and over. And when they do, I think it's kind of a bummer. So, I don't know.
No,
I'm with you there. Also, I wanted to say, I don't think before the other day I'd ever heard you say that you thought that MH6 was going to be the culmination of Monster Hunter, like, or a very culminative. Is that a word? I don't know. Cumulative? Yeah. That's not really a great word either. A very important, or I don't know.
Yeah. Well.
I don't think I'd ever heard you say. I don't think I ever heard you say that before the other day.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess it's sort of definitely how I feel. And it's interesting, because the thing that sort of spurred that thought on is actually going back through Dark Souls, as like Demon Souls to Sekiro, and seeing how they've iterated on this. And it's not to equate the gameplay of the two, just sort of my approach to thinking about them. And I read a quote from Hidetaka Miyazaki, who is the director and CEO of From Software. Mm-hmm. I know nothing about Elden Ring, it's worth mentioning. But he said of Elden Ring is designed to be the culmination of everything we've learned, like throughout creating the Dark Souls, Demon Souls, etc., etc. And I think that when applied to Monster Hunter, that ideal would really work very nicely. The culmination of everything the dev teams have sort of learned and worked towards, because Monster Hunter has a lot of concepts that are dying to be refined and iterated upon, and I think that clear cut ideal would be really amazing to sort of see going forward. And I think 5th gen, to me at least, maybe I'm giving too much credit or assuming too much, but it seems to me it's where the teams are beginning to find their footing a bit, and I'm really excited to see what it is that they come up with.
I don't know if I feel exactly the same way, where I feel like Monster Hunter has changed. I mean, obviously changed a lot over the years, but I feel like Monster Hunter goes through kind of, I don't know, peaks and valleys in terms of amount of change, and where the team's being more experimental and where the team is more refining things. I often split up Monster Hunter into a couple eras when I talk about it, or like a couple main shifts that have happened. And I'm excited for 6th gen, or the next main game, because I think that they had a really big shift in this generation. And you can see that in that they have taken things into some really extreme directions in both of the 5th generation games, in terms of world shifting up lots of the series tenets, and in terms of this game making things really over the top, or even more over the top in some ways than things were in World or GU, etc. And so I think that when you look at some of the games that have come right before some of those shakeups, you have your 4U, you have your Freemi Night, you have a couple other games where like it's after a few games of solid iteration, you get really interested, you get very comprehensive entries that a lot of people say are some of their favorites, or can describe as being very well-rounded, very well put together, really great entries in the series. So I think it's going to be interesting to see them continue to iterate on some of the changes and ideas that they've unearthed in this first little bit of this next era of Monster Hunter that started with World. That's how I feel about it. So I'm still excited about it. I don't know if I feel like I don't know if Monster Hunter to me feels like just like an upward trending graph. It feels more like a graph. Like, it feels like something where the team just kind of goes off in different directions to me. It doesn't really feel like things are just building and building, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no. I guess when I say culminating in this sort of idea of how do I put this? When I say culminating, I don't mean that they're going to do some gigantic iteration and it's going to be like the most ingenious thing ever. I just mean that they have got... I think that the team has always had a very firm grasp on the soul of Monster Hunter. But I think that, for me, I could see it trending towards in Gen 6. Not that it's going to be like this gigantic thing, but it's going to be a very solid, clear entry. And I imagine that they'll have some odd gimmick that will make us all scratch our heads a bit, but I do think that the team have demonstrated sort of this great sense of learning in 5th gen comparative to the others. And, I think it could be easy to suggest that maybe I'm just saying that because, there's a gigantic graphical shakeup or a gameplay change, but I maintain that even with how different Rise and World are, they both maintain that that soul of Monster Hunter, and I think that's one of the most important things, to preserve the soul. And
Sure.
you know, what people interpret the soul to be is going to differ from person to person, and I think that's okay. But I think for me, they have always kept it intact. And that's why even when I jokingly say, oh, I don't like Freedom Unite, it's true, I don't have much fun with Freedom Unite, but still, the game plays on my mind, and I always want to give it another go, because I think it very much possesses that soul. It very much possesses what makes Monster Hunter special and interesting and unique, and I want to go see all of this stuff.
Yeah, I think that they've all been good games, where even if there are ones that you don't particularly connect with, there's still a good chunk of there's a good chunk of Monster Hunter in all of them. And so they're even the ones that don't always click with you, you kind of always, or at least I generally feel I want to go back and give it another try, or try out something different and see if I can kind of click. See if I can kind of click with it in a different way. I think for me, I think they've demonstrated, or for how I feel about it is, I think they've demonstrated clearly a great desire to strike out from what was their norm for several years in terms, or just many years in terms of the game's visual and the game's general format, and some tropes of the series that they've decided to shift up. And I think that's cool. And they've also, I feel like, showcased like a pretty rapid pace of trying new things with this new style of Monster Hunter. When you look at how differently base Monster Hunter World plays from Iceborne plays, from this game plays, it's just they've tried a great many things already just within this one generation, and I think it's going to be pretty neat to see where that takes them. That's how I'm feeling about it.
Yeah, and I think that's a cool way to feel. I don't know. I think when I say all of this, it's coming from a perspective of I've tried to take my sort of analytical goggles off a little bit, and not dig down into it in the like sort of I'm writing down hit zones on a piece of paper and being like, all right, here's what's different, here's how this weapon functions differently, here's the frame data. It's genuinely just how as a player, it's, you know, I'm just sort of interacting with it while just playing it, not thinking about it, not looking for these different things in sort of a large sweeping stroke sense, just how I feel while I'm playing. And I think that's sort of been a fun way to approach games to me. And for a long while there, doing the analytical thing had sort of made me feel like maybe I was ruining my own experience a bit. And taking that step back has really made me sort of understand that I need that balance to sort of look. Ow! Look.
You cannot guard point that. It's good to know. I didn't take 3 out of the 4 potions. I took half. Someone in my chat is.
We both took half.
Someone in my chat is saying I'm being greedy. That's not true.
No, I died because I'm bad, not because you're greedy.
Yeah, you mentioned before the stream, kind of essentially trying to turn off the more analytical side of your brain and just enjoy playing through the game. I think I have a hard time doing that. We were talking about, I think we should probably talk about our differing experiences. I mean, in terms of revisiting World, where I revisited World last December, so at the end of last year, and I played a very different part of the game than you. You're playing through with an established character in Master Rank, and kind of enjoying that sort of, air quotes, best part of the game, if that makes sense. Like, you're at the end of the game, you have access to all the cool fights, all the cool gear. You just get to collect stuff and enjoy. I started a fresh character, and I started playing through base World because I wanted to form fresh impressions, not just of the end of the game or an old character or like the toughest stuff in the game, but I wanted to form an impression of kind of some of the overall experience of at least the low and high rank. And I don't know, there were some things that, like you said, there were some things about World that I had forgotten and came across as really fresh to me, having played so much Monster Hunter Rise last year. Stuff I didn't remember, but really would like to see in a Monster Hunter 6, even though I like a lot of things about Rise better than World. There were things I'd kind of forgotten about in that regard. But then there were also a lot of things that didn't really change for me in terms of my impressions of the game, in terms of just like the overall difficulty challenge of the game. It felt to me like they were having a hard time refining what kind of difficulty and what kind of fight design they wanted for that base World. where you have a progression that's not overly demanding from the player, but then some different ways that the game ramps up, which are like kind of interesting. Trying to structure 5th generation difficulty for the first time with some of the ATs and some of the tempered monsters, and monsters a little bit later in high rank. Some of those DLC monsters or title update monsters. And I guess I think I came away with little details that was like, I'd completely forgotten how awesome a 16-player hub was, or I completely forgot about how awesome some of the little details of that world are, or some of the ways that I was pretty interested in how the progression was more freeform in terms of them just telling you, hey, you're going to gather this meter of tracks is going to go up as you go through some general hunts over these next handful of, I don't know, hunts here, and that'll unlock your next progression in like X amount of tracks gathering. You can just kind of go do whatever you'd like, and I thought that was interesting. It's not fun to min-max that, but if you're in the mood to kind of just meander through the game like I was trying to do, it was really a neat way of doing progression. I thought that was neat, and I wouldn't mind them experimenting with stuff like that again.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that could translate really well into them just doing away with the mission structure and just being like, yeah, you unlock.
Mm-hmm. I knew you'd like that.
It would sort of be a move away more towards the guiding lands, if anything.
Yeah.
Like in sort of a sense of like, yeah, you just like level up tracks and you find tracks and you go find, I don't know.
I don't know if tracks themselves are a great medium for it. They frustrated a lot of people, but the idea of having some portions of progression where you get to kind of make your own way is interesting. And like this game has a little bit of that where you get to choose what key quests you want to do, but that's still key quests. I think there's more interesting ways of doing that. So I don't know. I found that stuff really interesting. I'd forgotten about it, but then there were also other things where I couldn't help myself, even though I was like kind of using gear that wasn't overly optimal and I wasn't using all of the tools the game gives you to really bully monsters. I just wasn't having all that engaging of a time fighting a lot of the low rank and a lot of the high rank monsters. It took until the end of high rank for me to really find some fights where I was like, yeah, these are some good monster hunts. And that bums me out. That's not the case in most Monster Hunter games for me, where I can enjoy a low rank hunt against a lot of monsters in a lot of the games, but I had a hard time doing that in World. So there were a lot of impressions of the game's combat in general that didn't super change for me in that playthrough. And I couldn't, for example, I couldn't really turn off my analytical brain for that, where I wasn't just enjoying hunting monsters for the sake of it. I wanted to learn, I wanted to practice, I wanted to feel challenged, and that wasn't occurring.
Yeah, I think like it's very important to note, and I'm sure you know this, but we'll say it for the sake of saying it. World at launch was a very different experience to base world in a post Iceborne society. Like, base world fundamentally changed. Like, I didn't enjoy my second playthrough of it when I had Iceborne installed, you know, having access to the clutch claw and all of that sort of new tech from the very beginning. Like, I definitely enjoyed my initial playthrough of base world before Iceborne. I enjoy it enough in Master Rank, but it sort of invalidates that and makes too easy that sort of initial playthrough. I agree with your standpoint on that for sure.
No Block in the Sun, I was interested in forming impressions on Monster Hunter World and not so much a fan version of it. So no, I wasn't considering using any mods in my playthrough.
Yeah, mods
I don't really want to get into it.
I'll say on it is, like, if you need a mod to make a game enjoyable for yourself, you know, we're having a different conversation at that point.
Yeah, I think so too. Which is why I was kind of trying to form impressions of the game itself. That's what I cared to form impressions of, not of a heavily modified version.
Yeah, call me old-fashioned.
We've talked about mods before. We'll talk about mods again, but yeah, that wasn't part of what I was revisiting World for personally. I hadn't played enough of that game to the point where I wanted to. I didn't have solid impressions of the whole game, so I wanted to go back and form them. And forming them on a fan version really isn't the same thing.
Yeah, it's hard to be like, oh man, I love this Monster Hunter Rise game. It has all of my gigantic chested waifus. What do you mean it's a different game if I play without busty Ragnar Kadaki mod? And that's my one gag on mods for today. We can just breeze past it if you want.
That's fine.
Thanks for
I don't think it'll be super relevant to the conversation because neither of us were actually forming impressions on mods. That's all.
Yeah. Don't worry. Any excuse to make fun of that mod, I'll take it. I'll take it. Ice-T tells me you physically cringed as I said that. It's
No,
good to know.
no way.
Oh yeah? Why'd you say it then?
I don't know. You know Ice-T. You called Ice-T a bot earlier today.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
And I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
Because of how much time they spent in your chat. Alright, let's see here. Where were we going with this?
We were discussing how Rise and World are different and how we were forming fresh impressions of World, and we got distracted by me making a silly joke.
Oh, you're good. So, I guess I would like to hear you talk a little bit more, if you want to, about just experiencing the game and kind of not, like, let's say you're in the same position I was, where you're playing the game and, like, the things you normally look for when you're analyzing the game, when you're practicing the game, when you're playing through the game, they're maybe not all there, right? You just want to sit back and enjoy the game. How has that been going? How could you describe how that's felt to you recently?
Oh, it's been great. I've just been like booting up stream, you know, Monster Hunter open lobby. People have come in and I've been like, all right, I want to make this today. And, you know, I've been working towards a few sets, working towards weapons, sort of playing with the weapons. You know, I want to really round out my ability to play with certain weapons. Because I'm bad with, like, 5th gen Greatsword and 5th gen Insect Glaive, for instance. And, you know, we had some really fun hunts that sort of exemplify what's cool about these weapons. You know, I got a cool dunk on Shrieking Legiana yesterday, and I was like, damn, that was sick. Rad. Woo. Sheesh. As the kids say. And I'm bad at Greatsword. Like, that's just reality, but I think that the ability to find the fun in just being bad and screwing around because of those one or two little hype moments, it was great. I had a blast.
Whoops.
And a bunch of people have just been joining in the hub, and we've been posting hunts and just sort of hanging out. That's all it's been. It's just chilling.
Nice.
Doing hunts, and that's it. Like, I haven't really tried to think about it. I've just been enjoying the tools the game gives me in terms of the weapons. I've been enjoying the tools the game gives me in terms of the monsters' movesets. And some of the more unique. We did a Kulve Taroth yesterday. Kulve Taroth is fantastic when it's not a siege monster.
I enjoyed it as a siege back in the day, but I did as much as I wanted, and then I dipped out. It was fun when you were playing with a group of people you actually knew. Randoms made it pretty rough.
Yeah.
Anytime you're doing something with a concentrated goal like that, and you can't really discuss with your team, make sure you're on the same page, it can be pretty rough.
I think the sieges were a great idea and a fantastic use of the 16-player lobby, but obviously there are the shortcomings of there is the human element involved. And the sieges would work better if you didn't require like 15 other people to sort of be on the same page as you. Yeah, which is literally the only unfortunate aspect to them.
It's tough because that was never a part of the series up until then. Like, that wasn't a particular draw, like giant siege or like big like interconnected hunts like that where you have multiple groups of hunters going at it. That was not particularly something in the series prior, and so it's like a new experience for a lot of folks and maybe not something that everybody's like down for. So it was definitely something where some folks took to it and some folks just didn't. And yeah, me.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you go ahead.
Sorry, please.
No.
No, you. Oh, I was gonna say, the artifact weapons being the best in the game were a bit. I feel of that how you feel of the Draken armor being as good as it was.
What's an artifact weapon?
The things that you get from Kulve Taroth in it and Safi Jiva.
Oh, is that what those are called?
The gacha rolls. I think I might be confusing them with the name of whatever it was from For You.
I forget. It's been too long. Like I said, I needed to form fresh impressions on that game. Anyways, I don't remember everything from it.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were called either. Just the gacha roll weapons.
Sure. You didn't like that part either, you said?
No.
For anybody who's just joining us, including Hilda of Kokoto, we are doing a podcast tonight, myself and my friend Phalacin. We're both people who play Monster Hunter on Twitch, and we're discussing some topics related to how we've both been playing the games and enjoying the games recently. We usually do this over the Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, but my capture card's on the fritz, so we're doing it over Rise PC tonight instead.
Such a polite term. On the fritz.
I've said that a couple times tonight. Yeah.
Oh, I love it every time. Please continue.
I'll continue.
On the fritz. On the fritz. It's just nice, isn't it? It's very Midwestern.
It's a nice way to describe your capture card crashing your entire USB controller, dropping your microphone, your cam, your monitors, your keyboard, your mouse. It's a good time.
Yeah, I'd say it's a polite way of putting it. On the fritz. Oh, let's do a Goss Harag so I can make the Goss Harag.
Let's do it.
Great sword. If you have anything you want to post, go right ahead.
Nope, I want to help you get to high rank, and that's about it.
Okay. One other thing I'd like to sort of throw out there about sieges, not to turn this into a world retrospective. But,
well, you wanted to talk about some of your things that you had realized were fresh.
Yeah. How would you feel about equating them with the rappel quests of old, which I guess is maybe the intention behind them?
I think the neat part about some of the I like the comparison, and I like that there was some kind of modern analog, because that experience of wearing down a foe over the course of several hunts is a very valuable experience. I think it's pretty cool. I wish that if they were going to do scaling for the rest of things in the game, I wish that they had made those sieges a little more solo friendly. I know that undermines some of the point of a big raid boss, but some people are going to want to do a big rappel by themselves, and some people are going to want to bandy together in a group. And maybe it's okay if like you get more rewards in a group, sure, but I think it should be feasible solo, and it was a lot less feasible solo. So I wouldn't mind if they kept bringing back concepts kind of like that, because I really think there's something to repelling a monster several times over and chipping it down and wearing it away and then finally slaying it, especially when there's cool mechanics around that. But
agreed.
Not making it solo viable is kind of a bummer, or at least not making it solo viable outside of like some of the most optimal play in gear is pretty bummer. It's kind of a bummer, pretty bummer.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I do think that it's a pretty cool way to ensure that you don't just do like these gigantic monsters, as a one and done. You're like, oh, I need a weapon or a piece of armor or something, and you're like, okay, we've done Kulv Taroth now. Okay, I don't like its armor set because it doesn't give me cool skills. I'm never going to touch it again. You sort of have to keep interacting with that monster, and I think that's cool. And it's fun to hear you say that and then to actually have that thought, because I'd always been sort of bleh on the rappel quests, but talking about it now, it's pretty
I would be pretty pleased if all elders went, or not all elders, but like the majority of elders went back to that system personally. I think having more monsters that are set apart at like a higher difficulty level and more than just name would be a good thing for the series. Because Elder Dragons are still just hunts at the end of the day in most of the entries, and I think that's too bad.
Yeah, I agree. They do need sort of a distinction to make them special. Because if I'm bullying a Teostra in much the same way I'm bullying, not a great job, Rist, but you get where I'm going.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that different. I mean, sure it is, but like, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
It makes it a bit less special.
Nice dodge.
Oh, I did want to, I know we've been doing some sort of challenge things for this. I think it would be fun for our sort of goofy hunt tonight if you set up your ticket system, if that's doable at all.
Oh yeah, totally.
And we had someone pick our weapons for some arena quests.
We can absolutely do that, provided we pick an arena quest that has the appropriate weapon. Arena quests are a super fun duo.
Yeah. So someone could pick my individual weapon and someone could pick your individual weapon, and then we would have fun.
To anybody who we didn't get a chance to say hello to tonight, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no, it's always a pleasure to do this podcast live. Absolutely.
It is something that we're both still learning as well.
Yeah. Just understand you're appreciated for being here 100%. Thank you for joining in, and sort of please enjoy this different format to our regular stream. I think once every 2 weeks is a nice little way to go about it, though.
Yeah.
Why did I pick a hammer for this weapon? For this monster, rather.
I don't know. He's pretty cool.
He is cool, but his head is so high.
Yeah,
he is 6 foot tall. I am 5'11". I would get. Oh,
nice
never
KO.
mind. Now to press the wrong button. Damn, that was good.
Nice job.
Did you see how I completely missed and went way over his head?
No, I didn't.
I got him that.
I was giving you a nice job legitimately, or I was trying to. Away he goes.
I have some feelings.
About what?
My feeling is, I like Gosserog that much.
You don't, or you do?
I don't. I hope they make him... I hope I like him more in Master Rank. G Rank. Master Rank. Alright, we'll touch on it quickly, because I joked about it on Twitter. Thoughts on G Rank versus Master Rank as a naming convention?
I'm partial to G because I've played so many games with it, and I think it sounds cool, but I don't care. As long as the movesets are challenging and like the experience of going through it is sizably more difficult than high rank, not just bigger numbers with like potentially slightly more moves for each monster, I'm happy.
I just meant the name.
I was conveying that I care more about the actual gameplay balance of a higher difficulty rank than the naming convention, that's all.
Good idea, good idea. Yeah. The only thing I think they should have done is called it Grandmaster rank, and then everyone...
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. I would feel so much cooler clearing Grandmaster rank than just Master rank. Yeah, everybody would be happy then. You could still call it G rank.
Yeah, exactly.
You could say that was what it meant the whole time. In Grand Monster Hunter tradition, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's what we meant the entire time. Totally. Yeah. Not at all something we just retcons. No way. We don't do that.
Yeah, that's all they needed to do. Call it that. It's an extra 2 syllables, you know, in your life, but you know, ouch. And you don't need that, but you'll live. Just to be clear, I don't mean a thing above Master. I think they should have just called Master rank.
Yeah.
Grand Master rank.
We need that sky blue sharpness, is what Biotech in the chat is saying.
I think sky blue sharpness.
It's in Frontier.
Oh.
Wow. He was going for you and he got me, but then he missed.
Yeah. At that point, they have 4 difficulty ranks. You have Frontier. You have an MMO.
Frontier
you have a
5.
game that... Yeah, you've got like 5 billion ranks. And the game never ends, and it would make everything else before it feel a little bit wonky.
All right. Well, I tried to phrase this question earlier, and I don't think I phrased it well enough. I guess this is a question I'm going to pose both to Phalacin and to chat, because I've had this experience in the past, and I've worked through it, but it's an ongoing thing for me in different games as I play through them, because sometimes things in the game click with you, and sometimes they don't. What do you do in a game when you're having a hard time getting past some hangups? Let's say you're playing something. I'm just gonna be straight up and use the example for me, which is Monster Hunter World. If I'm playing Monster Hunter World and I'm playing through low and high rank, and I feel like the monsters are not nearly damaging enough, quick enough, or like frightening enough with their patterns to really challenge the player movesets and the player healing in a meaningful way, how do you get past that? How do you get past your hangups and enjoy the game still? What do you do?
I think that's a really interesting one, because for you personally, you play these games in such a specific way that I think it would be really difficult to get past those particular hangups. And I think at some point you have 2 options: either change how it is that you're looking at the game, or just accept that you either don't like the whole game or parts of the game, and you know, get on with your day. You can't like everything. You don't have to enjoy everything about it, but that's kind of just the reality of the situation. Maybe you just don't like World, and that's totally valid. You know, we can't all enjoy everything.
I was just curious what you'd say about it. I mean, those things you just talked about, like kind of deciding a different way of enjoying it or just deciding to move on. Those are things I obviously have thought about and had to deal with all sorts of different things, not just World, other entries in the series as well. I've had to have those sorts of just like, okay, what am I gonna do with this? This is really bugging me. What do I do to get past this? The meme answer is modded. Uchi, you're not wrong. That's a valid answer too. It's a rougher answer when you're trying to form impressions of a specific game, but if you're just trying to enjoy yourself, that's a valid answer, absolutely.
Yeah, I think for sure, you know, maybe like, I think one thing that people sort of have to accept is that you can't like everything. Not everything is going to be to your taste. And that's just that's fine. Like, you could mod it, but I think if we include mods in our conversations for these things, then the waters get kind of muddy. But yeah, maybe you just don't like World, and that's totally fine. Like, similar to, I can say, I don't have that much fun with Freedom Unite. It's not because, you know, we're both big dumb gamers who can't appreciate the finer things in life. It's just, sometimes you don't enjoy X thing.
Yeah. Everyone has different things they enjoy about the series, as I think we'll touch on a little later. That's one of the things we want to talk about tonight, I think. Or at least try to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I think part of it is what I was sort of talking about before, which is turning my analytical brain off and just getting lost in the experience.
I think it's hard to do that while streaming.
Yeah, I've been working on that a bit more. And I think, like, I think we can just talk about, you know, being a human being sort of in that context of streaming and, you know, vulnerability a little bit. I think occasionally while you're streaming, the desire to look like you know what you're talking about can inform our decision to be too analytical at times, I think, and that sort of colors how we interact with chat. Because you know, you want to be the smartest guy in the room sometimes, not you personally, just people.
Human nature. Especially when put in a position where, like, you are supposed to be at least showing something off. Not necessarily supposed to be, like, the best or anything, but you are supposed to entertain or educate or something.
Yeah, and I think that can, at times, sort of color how you approach those conversations and how you approach those games. Lord knows I've done it, like a goose. I mean, I don't pretend to know what I'm talking about, but I've gone out of my way to learn about things that I don't necessarily care about, and I've been defensive about the things that I don't know, because ultimately it makes me feel better to sort of go, oh yeah, you know, I just don't care. And I think it's important to say, hey, sometimes I don't know something, and it's true, I don't care, but maybe I'd like to know a little bit more about it, etc. And that really will sort of impact how you enjoy things. And it's okay to do that some of the time, but I think there needs to be a balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's... Maybe it feels like I've gotten off track in regards to how you would get past hang-ups.
No.
But I truly do think that would go a long way towards it, right? Like, sort of not changing how you enjoy games or changing how you play them, because no one can do that. You just like what you like.
Mm-hmm.
But letting yourself take that sort of step back and just get lost in the context of a stream and really sort of connect with your chat and have these sort of things where you say, hey guys, we're just hanging out, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, the hit zones of Sussy Bussy today, it's fine. You know, we're just gonna hit its head, turn off damage numbers, and vibe. Get the dunk, get the Vic Roy. And I think in essence, you know, if you could find yourself doing that, well, could you find yourself doing that? Do you think that you would be able to enjoy the games in that way?
I think I have a hard time, not because I want to be amazing at the games. Like, I'd like to be good for myself at the games just because I enjoy it. But I think for me, it's more like I'm sort of like, this sounds over dramatic, but like my sort of purpose on Twitch, or my journey that I'm trying to go on, is to like learn about as much as I can, because I really like the series and I want to learn about just about anything. It's just difficult sometimes when whatever you're learning about doesn't necessarily click with how you enjoy or the things that you expected for whatever you're going for, whether it's World or otherwise.
Yeah, okay. I think I could see that. So do you think occasionally it's sort of like you need to have the hit zone knowledge or what have you, because that's the homework, that's the theory, that's part of learning everything, even if you don't necessarily enjoy it?
I don't know.
Just to provide an example, maybe you do enjoy those things.
I do enjoy learning the monster's hit zones.
Sorry, not hit zones, motion values. Hit zones, you know, that one's kind of self-evident.
I do enjoy learning the weapons' motion values.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have them memorized. I'm not like a nerd about it, but I like understanding the conceptual level, like what they mean for a weapon's moveset.
Well, no, it's like just sort of fun about that, just as a sidebar. I think that learning the motion values in sort of that sense, it's kind of done emergently, right? Like, it makes sense that
you can feel it.
Big, yeah, this big old swing would have a higher motion value than Well, that's the big old swing, isn't it? I got... Why does it do the same thing?
Huh?
I just want to do the slap. That. There we go.
Oh,
Obviously,
okay.
that's going to have a lower motion value than the big old chunky gufum. You know, that's the whoosh, and this is the... And then it's followed by the gufum. And obviously, a gufum is higher than a whoosh.
Chargeway's got the ka-chonk.
Yeah, you know, the ka-chonk is always going to be... You know, show me the ka-chonk.
Here comes the ka-chonk.
Yeah. See? Is that's the ka-chonk?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, obviously that has a higher motion value than the initial unsheathing. Whoosh.
Of course.
Sorry, that was more of a whip. The whoosh.
I mean, you can't expect the whoosh to beat the ka-chonk.
No, not at all. Absolutely not. So I think
there's your motion value for the day.
Yeah, and obviously, and to me, it's like the hit zones are relatively evident as well. It's like bonk thing on the noggin because everything has a brain. Now, if they introduce some kind of jellyfish monster, then you know I'm in for a harder time.
What is it about this guy you don't like fighting?
Oh, it's not that I don't like fighting him. I just think he's uninteresting.
Oh,
He's a little bit boring.
I think he's really cool. He's like the first sort of humanoid monster we've had in a while. I don't count Lushin.
Well, you don't have to count Lushin. Yeah, it's not that I dislike him.
Ow.
I just dislike him against the backdrop
no,
of
I'm not gonna
other
die.
things
Cool.
they introduced in Rise. That thing is a man? Alright, Plato disagrees. A chicken is bipedal.
Whoops.
Yeah, I knew Uchi was trying to bait a response out of me. Behold a man. No, I'm not reading the wrong chat. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. I have been...
Have you been focusing on mine?
Yeah, no. Apparently yours is covering mine. What's wrong with me?
Wait, you have mine covering yours?
Yeah.
You're also getting you're also getting maimed by Gossera. You're getting maimed by a man currently.
Okay, good. Alright, I'm sorry. Hello, Chip and AOL and Claire. I'm an absolute buffoon, aren't I?
No, you're not. I feel like you've been doing a better job of talking than I have, so it's reasonable that you've been doing a worse job of reading.
In fairness, I have spent the past, like, 2 weeks just sort of sitting on ideas and concepts and what have you. And it's about time that Daddy got up a little bit and said, you know what? I know about Monster Hunter 2. Monster Hunter as well. Not Monster Hunter 2. I don't know anything about Dose.
You know it's called Dose.
Well, yeah. Dose? You know? Dose? That's Spanish for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me, no, go. I'm a knower. I'm a cultured knower.
I'm pretty sure they retconned that after the game came out.
Alright.
They retconned Dose to me too. Sorry, that's a dumb joke.
Oh no, I get it. It would be funny if I wasn't stupid. And, you know, just understood what you were saying initially and thought that it was just a crumb of humor. Excuse me, I had rolled that. I was being a big rolling boy. Wahoo! Aw, he aimed it up! I was gonna wahoo into his dome.
Oh shoot.
And then he aimed it up.
I got decked.
The
Side tangent, we didn't plan on talking about this at all. Phalacin, how do you feel about the Steam Deck?
Steam Deck? You're very techie, I'm not.
Okay, never mind.
That's Steam, no, that's Steam Switch, right?
Yeah.
Alright, question. Why would I want to play, like, Counter-Strike in bed?
Well, you could play this game in bed, but not on a Switch.
Does it run better than a Switch?
I have no idea. It's not out yet. It's topical to talk about because the review embargoes are dropping and people are posting videos about it for the first time. I just was curious, that's all. Never mind.
I can play World in bed anyway. I could just put a TV in my room and put a PlayStation 4 there.
There's so many better things you could have said. I'm not a PC gamer, dude. I don't know.
Look, I don't know much about the Steam Deck. I'm not going to buy one. That's like That's my definitive answer for you. I will not purchase one with legal tender.
That is fine.
And you know, what am I gonna do with it? I'm gonna play.
I mean, like, Uchi, what else would I play? Like, I'm sorry. There's literally, like, if I got one of those, which I'm not personally planning on getting one either, Phal, I would just play this game. Like, that's legit what I would play.
Yeah, you have it on Switch though, which is the same thing.
Have we talked about how many times I've bought Generations?
Yeah, like 8, right?
8 is correct. Good memory.
Memory? That's like the only thing I am good at, I think. But I don't know, man. I don't know anything about the Steam Deck. Maybe I'll look at it
No,
up.
that's fine. It's not actually that great of a topic. It just popped in my head and I thought I'd ask.
Hey, look, it's a pretty free-form podcast. We don't have to stick to this rigid schedule of whatever. If I want to talk about my cat, I could. She's very nice.
What if our producer comes in and yells at us?
Who's our producer?
Ryozo.
Ryozo Sujimoto?
Yeah, that guy. Dad.
You know. Well, I would just slip him a $5 and tell him he's doing a good job.
Me too.
Ask him to not make me look like an idiot when Monster Hunter 6 comes out and everyone invariably hates it, myself included, and I'm like, man, people will point to this and they'll say, oh, remember when Phalacin said this game was going to be the defining one? Yeah, well,
I'm already going to do that.
Now. I know for a fact it's going to happen. And if it happens with like that and Elden Ring, I'm quitting. I don't
Elden
know
Ring
what
was good though.
Well, I don't know what it looks like. That's the thing.
Oh, shoot. Well, just forget I said anything. It looks awful.
Well, no, you can say that it looks whatever. But all I'm saying is I literally haven't watched a trailer since the initial one like 10 million years ago.
Wrong chat, Ice-T.
Yeah, good job, Ice-T Trinko.
All right. Speaking of upcoming Monster Hunter games. Phal, what are we talked briefly about this. We've talked a bit about Sunbreak on the podcast. We talked about some things we're looking forward to in that game. We've talked a little bit about what theming we thought could be. I actually haven't thought about this. I probably should have thought about this before the podcast, but we've decided that we're going to both name the top 3 returning monsters that we would like to see in Sunbreak each.
All right. I do want to set a stipulation for this. They can't just be a variant. Like, I can't just give the cop-out answer of Stygians and Ogre. And if someone says that's a subspecies or something, they're getting banned.
Okay.
Not from
so they have to be distinct different monsters from ones that are already in the game.
Yes.
And you have to actually think about top 3. Like, what are, like, no take backsies. Let's say you're like Ryozo actually, for the sake of this discussion, Ryozo actually is our producer. He's sitting over both of our shoulders with a nice pair of Sony headphones on. He's monitoring our volume levels and he's taking notes on what exactly our top 3 monsters are for Sunbreak. And whatever you say, you're stuck with. Those are going to be the 6 returning monsters based on these 2 chuckle heads. So think wisely. Whatever you say is going to be like just set in stone. That's it. That's what's going to be in there.
I do want to preface this with, I'm super torn on some of this because it's like, I want to say like, Gormagala and whatnot, but I'm also like, yeah, Gormagala is part of what makes Monster Hunter 4 special. So I think bringing him back might be, in my opinion, it could diminish someone's likelihood. I saved you there.
Nice, thank you.
Likelihood of going back and playing for you. But I think I would like to start this by putting on the table Dia Morales from Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, the end of the hub quests. He is the only legendary black dragon who has not made a return. His weapons are beautiful. I think they're great. I would really love to get his sword and shield and/or greatsword back. And I think they could adapt his fight really well, contextually to this game. Given I don't want to spoil anything about him in 3 Ultimate for when you get there, but
you're good.
There are some. Well, there's a part where you fight him underwater, so that you can actually hit like parts of him because he's a big fella. He's a large lad. They've made it so that you can sort of hit him in these places. So he's one person that I would like to see back.
Okay.
For sure. There's my reasoning. And I'd like to hear you.
Okay. One of the ones that I would like to see, one of my 3, is I want Jen Moran. I want Jen Moran because we haven't had a traditional siege fight since, I mean, I guess the closest thing would be Nakarkos in Generations Ultimate, maybe Atal Ka, I don't know, I haven't fought it, but I think that the traditional style of siege fight has some boring bits, but also some really fun bits. And I think that Jen Moran's scale, like, I think any monster that has the scale of Jen Moran, so we're talking like Lao, Jen, Darin, Gogmazios, Dalamadur, all the really big ones, would be really neat in 5th generation in general. But for me especially, I think Jen Moran is really fun, where with the wire bug movement, I think that you could, like, a lot of those larger fights could have some neat things. I think Jen Moran fits this game's theme really well, and I think that the ways you could move around both on him and the boat, when you think about the installations with the Rampage, maybe you picture a Rampage boat or a Rampage installation that is designed to draw to withhold Jen, or to hold Jen back. I think that would be a really neat addition. So that is one of the ones that I've really wanted. Even more so than, I think I really want monsters like Yukanlos or Akantor or Amatsu, some of those other larger fights back too, but I think even more than those, I want Jen Moran. That's my first one.
I would 100% agree with that. Also, I could imagine how sick it would be to go from the sand skiff to like wire bug over to his back instead of like having him do this dinky thing where he's like very obviously sort of Deus Ex Machinaing, like, oh, here's my horns. I think it would be really cool to ask for some precision of the player to like jump on his back.
Sure.
And get him.
And this game's movement could do that pretty well.
Yeah, that's part of what I'm sort of considering with my answers, is the implementation of the movement and how we could really work well within the confines of Rise and like what it has to offer. I just said a lot of things because my brain was sort of scrambling to find the words, but
it's okay.
You know, I hope you understood what I was saying.
Oh yeah, you're all good. You got your sentiment across.
All right, I'll say, because people will beat us up and take our lunch money if we pick all elders for this. My next 2, they're not going to be elders or anything that moves into an elder, so no Gore Magala, but I would love for Gore to come back.
Now, Gore technically isn't an elder dragon, Phalacin, so you would be just fine.
Yeah, but Shugaru Magala is an elder dragon, Mr. Big buckaroo fella. I think that Zamtrios should come back just because he's my favorite, even though I am fully aware that it would not, maybe it's like an early master rank monster, like what they did for some of the other returners, because that's all they can do at this point, right? They can just give us master rank versions but not add like low or high rank versions.
Yeah, these will be master rank exclusive, so it's good to think about it in that lens. Yeah,
I don't know, I think that it's truly just because he's my favorite. And I'll explain why he's my favorite for my how. Because he goes from this absolutely terrifying shark beast who turns his own ice into armor, and then he could do some sick drill attacks with that nose. And then he puffs up into a goofy little fella who's obviously holding his breath because he turns more purple as he does it. And then he goes wahoo, and then he goes back to being small. So I like that sort of
Zamtrios.
Yeah, Zamtrios, he's the best guy.
He's
my favorite guy.
For a G rank exclusive Zamtrios, or sorry, a master rank exclusive Zamtrios in this game, would you pick regular Zamtrios or would you pick Tiger Stripe?
I don't like Tiger Stripes.
All right, well there you go.
But not for the reasons you might think. I think his fight is fine. I just prefer ice monsters.
Okay, that's fine. You said he was your favorite monster, so it definitely does not have to be like logical. Like, I like Nargacuga, even though in my opinion Nargacuga hasn't been like an amazing fight since like 2nd gen.
Yeah, I think Nargacuga he's really neat. But yeah, I totally get what you mean.
It is pretty good in this game, but you're not wrong. I'm excited to see what the master rank version in this game looks like.
Yeah, alright. Who's your next pick?
I'm still thinking a little bit, but I think... I think for me, a good monster to be stuck in G rank that we haven't seen in a while, I want to see Blangonga.
I'd be interested to hear that, because I actually like Blangonga, despite my disdain for monkeys.
My particular reasoning is, I guess, I don't know if I have a particular reasoning for it. I should probably think of one. I really like his fight, and I like how different his fight is than Rajang. I think honestly, in some ways, like, I mean, obviously Rajang's always had like a higher intensity level, but there's always been some ways where Blangonga's fight has been more challenging than Rajang's in terms of like how much further he can move across the map at once, the small monsters he has with him, the fact that he has projectiles that can kind of immobilize you. Like, there's some bits about him that are pretty tricky to get used to, and so I think it'd be interesting to see him in a G rank or in a Master Rank exclusive. I wouldn't particularly mind if it was Copper Blongo either, because Copper Blongo is pretty hype, but I think regular Blangonga would fit pretty well too.
I'm just concerned that if they bring back Blangonga, they might get a little buck wild and bring back Kongolala.
I would accept those two.
No. All right, you've lost me. I was okay with the funny ice monkey, but if you say I'm okay with Kongolala, we've had a breakdown of communication here. You know, we're gonna run into some issues. He's a ridiculous guy. He's obscene.
His farts are funny.
No, they are not.
Especially Emerald Conga. Emerald Conga has some sass, dude. That dude knows how to live.
Maybe it's because I'm a little bit repressed, let's say. But I can't find it funny. I just can't. I hate it so much. It irks me. It makes me sad and want to cry. I hate him.
He just has he has so much sass, and there's such impact to his fart that I just can't help but like it.
And he's also an eyesore. Like, he's just unpleasant to look at. He just sucks. He's the worst. No, pick it. I
didn't pick him. I was just saying I would have been happy.
Sorry, I was so blinded by white hot rage for a second there. I forgot that he was not your initial pick. I was just furious. Anyway.
Yeah, I think Blangonga would. I think the way that Blangonga has always moved very differently from Kongolala and from Rajang would make for a very interesting addition to 5th gen, seeing as movement is one of the things that has been worked on the most for a lot of the monsters. I think he'd be pretty cool to see.
I agree, but I would be upset.
About Blangonga?
No, about Kongolala. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I've destroyed your brain, haven't I?
Maybe. Look, here's the thing. I accept that he's probably someone's favorite monster out there. So for that reason, I want him back. But also, I really don't want him back.
You are not the first person who I've met who has just an absolute hatred for Kongolala. Like, there was someone who came in my chat a while ago and just yelled about him the entire time he was on stream. They're like, get it off the screen. I was like, I'm working on it, bud. Hang on. But, like, they were really upset.
When I was doing my GU playthrough initially, I just had people do him in the hub, and I would go sit by the beach. I would AFK for 5 minutes.
Yo, that's scummy.
It was a good bit, though. No, I've done plenty of Kongolala.
That's awful, SAE.
I should mention, I don't enjoy his fight that much either. Like, I truly am colored by my disdain for just Kongolala as a person. I just don't find him funny. But, like I said, if he's truly someone's favorite monster, bring him back. Oh, why not? Okay. As for a third monster...
Yep, you have one more pick. Pick wisely. This is it. Ryozo's listening.
He's listening, okay.
He's writing it down. He's got his pen poised over the notepad.
Over the notepad. Okay.
Ready for Phalacin's third pick.
Crimson Kurapeko.
Good choice. I was seeing that Lorigami in the chat had suggested Kurapeko, and it would be a shame to not have Kurapeko back. That's one of the monsters that really deserves it back.
You know what? Lorigami is a person of taste and culture.
Agreed. I'm happy to see it.
I do want to cheat and have a sneaky fourth, but hear me out.
No, you only get 3. Ryozo's moving on. He says no.
Hold up.
You greedy player, he says.
A variant of a monster that was introduced in Rise.
Okay.
Is the fourth one that I want to pick.
What one's that?
Bishop.
I'm excited to see if they do subs for a lot of those monsters. That's not That's not really a pick. You said no subspecies, no variants, but I think that some of those monsters are just yearning for a version that's not just like a decent challenge, but a version that wants to destroy you.
Yeah, I want to hear your, who you would like as a variant back. So that's from this game. It's a secret fourth pick. Okay?
I think, okay, I'll have to choose. I mean, it's hard to choose. I'm gonna start with my third pick for a returning monster, and I'm not sure what it is yet. My music and game sounds are super loud. Can't hear you guys too well. Is that the case for most folks?
Maybe DCH got those fancy ears. They can only hear music.
It shouldn't be the case. I think I have our voices balanced, so it shouldn't be too bad. It could be lowered a little. It was fine for you. I'm just gonna turn Phalacin up. How about that?
By the way, every time I get the Wyvern right, I'm just sort of tossing him away from a wall or whatever.
Okay.
To keep with the spirit. The spirit.
Okay. I've turned
also,
Phal up a little bit.
Just like sort of on the note of Sunbreak, I do have a quick sidebar.
Okay.
If any of you think they're going to give a Sunbreak trailer tomorrow at the Nintendo Direct, I'm sorry.
I'm on the other side. I think they're going to show something.
They said that they're not going to until the spring.
It's springtime.
Is it springtime?
It is. I mean, where I live, it was like 0 degrees yesterday, but the spring.
The weather is not
Q1 spring. It's spring. They've already started trickling out details online on Twitter about Sunbreak. Yeah, no,
okay. I'm gonna get up at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And are you working at that time?
I'm working, yeah. I don't even. What time is the direct tomorrow?
9 a.m. my time.
9 a.m. I don't know what time. For you, it's 9 a.m. Okay, I gotta think about that. I don't even know what time that makes it for me.
Someone do the math. It's 3:23 p.m. for me right now.
6 p.m. for me? Oh, I'll be home.
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna jump in a Discord. I'm going to stream it, and we're gonna watch it together, the direct. And you're gonna say, I can't believe that they didn't show Sunbreak.
Well, like I'm not like upset about it.
No, you are.
No, I'm not. To be clear, I have zero real expectations. I just think, I don't know. It's about right. It's about time. I think that the trickle of the drip feed of information is beginning. You just see. We're all going to see. And also, I guess, I didn't mention this on the cast yet, but I've been talking over the last day or two about, like, I've been thinking recently, like I said, I've been trying to think about a different way of doing things for Monster Hunter, or a different way of doing things for streaming. I've been considering maybe waiting to play Sunbreak until after all the updates are out, or until everybody else has played it and can kind of, I don't know, teach me as I go, or really contribute to the experience in a different way than just like, oh, I'm worried about spoilers, I don't want to watch this stream, or oh, did you see this crazy update, there's all this drama around it. Just like, I feel like I'm legitimately thinking about maybe waiting to play Sunbreak until after the fact.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, particularly because I know for me, I really felt like the update schedule of World and what have you, we talked about this last time, but I'll quickly recap.
All good.
It detracted from my enjoyment of those updates, but if you had them all at once, I think that could be pretty neat. Just quietly.
I forget where I was going with that, or where that came from in particular. But
I think you were just talking about how you feel, and that's that's good.
I don't know, just a thought. I just had the thought, like, all of my favorite experiences that I've had on Twitch have been with games where other people can, like, kind of look forward to me reaching particular things and kind of hype those up or teach me about them as I go, or kind of, I don't know, really relate to the experiences that I'm going through in one way or another. And I find that that's a lot more fun and a lot more doable when the game's been out and people have experienced it, rather than, like, me playing through the brand new hotness. I don't know if I like that hot seat as much. I mean, it's fun in one way, but sometimes not in others. I don't know.
No, I could definitely see that. I think the only reason I'm gonna play through it at launch is because I despise knowing things. Alright, have you thought about your third returning monster to Sunbreak, Sujimoto? He's gonna put it in. It's coming back for sure.
Alright, I've got it. It's gonna be Duramboros.
Ooh,
so for me, my three are Gen Moran, Blangonga, and Duramboros. reason for behind Durambros is I think that he would also be really great with 5th generation movement. Like, think about how much crazier those spins could be if they were super fluid. Think about rolling through that tail with 5th generation rolls, or jumping up and attacking the humps with wire bugs.
Yeah, I think that would be great to play with the verticality. Also, let's rub our little fly hands together and laugh at anyone who is like, bring back Seregios, or, you know, insert X monster here, because none of them are getting in, only the 6 picks that we've brought in.
That's it. Rioza's listened to us. Sorry, Legaia Chris, get wrecked.
Oh no, I forgot about him. I think I just lament that he wasn't in Base Rise so much. I can't wane for him anymore. By the way, I've hit the EI parry many times, and I know that you hate that, so I wanted to bring it up.
Oh, I don't dislike the EI parry that much. My least favorite longsword move is Helm Splitter, but I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to not just hate on longsword all the time.
I think that's fair. Well, that's part of what I was sort of talking about by turning off the analytical part and just enjoying the anime weebiness that Rise has to offer.
I've been doing some of that. Granted, I haven't been using Helm Splitter, but like I've been trying to appreciate longsword more for like what it is now, rather than just dunk on it.
Honestly, fair. Honestly, fair. To be honest though, I think if they were going to make any weapon the counter weapon, like the anime counter weapon, longsword is the one that makes sense, right?
I guess so, yeah, sure. It's definitely more like if they're gonna add that sort of fantastical anime counter, yeah, I agree. It fits thematically with that.
Yeah. Yeah. What? All right. Question, DCH. I'm gonna jump down your throat on this one. Why would Lance realistically be the counter weapon?
Realistically is not a good word to use.
The word I'm using.
Okay. And then for my, like you asked also for me to pick a monster from this game that I would like as a variant to come back. And while I like Bishaten, while I like Aknasom, while I like Gossarag, and I think all these monsters could be pretty neat with a version that was out there to just murder you, I'm going to be charitable, and I'm going to say Somnicanth, because whoo boy, that monster needs something, and I would like to get to fight a version that really wanted to just absolutely spill my guts.
Funny, I like Somnicanth.
I think it's a pushover of a fight.
Yeah,
I think it's a neat fight. Like, design-wise, it's cool. The gear is neat. Like, the concepts are cool. I just don't think there's any of its patterns that stand in low rank or high rank that are really all that much of a threat to cart you.
I guess it's just how it be.
So I want one that's just, like, more vicious. I don't know what the theme would be of said variant, but I would like one.
Yeah, I don't know what they would... I struggle with working out what the variant of Bishaten would be, but I imagine him to be brown.
Me too.
Just brown fur.
He throws bombs.
Oh yeah, he could have. The story could be like, yeah, he raided the hunter camp, and now he has barrel bombs, and he throws them at you. Is that something the evil you want to unlock upon the world?
It's not that like, well, Ice-T Trinker's calling me out, and like rightfully so, in that everything about it's cool, but the challenge is bad, so I don't like it. And like, yeah. Unfortunately, for me, the thing that I come to this series the most for is not just the cool designs or the cool weapons or the art design or anything. The core for me, and we can use this as a nice segue to our next part of the cast, Phal. The core for me is that I love fights. And I love not just fights. I love this series and how this series is all about taking your weapon with its trade-offs, its commitments, its openings, its advantages and its disadvantages, and pairing those against a monster hunter, god darn it, against a monster's tools, advantages, disadvantages, openings, commitments. I think that's for me, that is the core of this series gameplay, the core of this series, why I keep playing it, is because I find that endlessly satisfying to learn and practice. And so when a monster doesn't really feel like it has much to practice there, or it doesn't feel like it's much of a threat no matter what you do, much less if, let's say, it's your whole game's low and high rank, or like most of high rank, then I have a hard time enjoying it.
And I just want to say, like, obviously we'd plan to sort of discuss this anyway, so I'll slip Ice-T that that $10 for helping us with the segue. But while I approached the series completely differently in that, and I think of it in a not an entirely separate way, but not by that yardstick, I suppose. The way you feel about it is 100% valid, and that's totally fine. If that's what you want out of the series, then, you know, to heck with anyone who says otherwise, just because they feel differently. And I think that while obviously you can't please everyone, I don't have Kester on shell. Bummer.
What are you working on making? Why we fight Goss twice?
Oh, I wanted his greatsword.
Ah, it's a pretty good greatsword. Nice.
Yeah, that's when I'm using it, it's an okay sword.
I'll go greatsword with you.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That's good stuff. Alright, I'm bad at greatsword, but let's give it a whirl, shall we?
I think I'm going to really quickly use the bathroom before we keep going on this next quest and before we dive into this next main topic. But while that was my personal intro into that topic, why don't you go ahead and just, I mean, if you want to just go ahead and kind of introduce the general idea of that next topic that we're talking about, Phal. You can go ahead, maybe talk with folks in chat about it if you'd like to, and I'll be right back in just a moment. Sorry to leave you all hanging, but...
No. Take your time. Have fun, don't fall in. Yeah, no, I think it's in keeping with the theme of really discussing why people might play something, or how the series evolves and changes, and how we consider the different strength, as well as not being quite so analytical. I think individual to every person, you sort of have this visceral idea of what it is that you want from the series, or want from any game, really. Like, I think that's just a very human thing, divorced from each and everyone's little gremlin desire to be a game reviewer. And while there are people who look to it for speed running, or there are some people who look to it for collecting, there are some people who look to it for challenge runs. And at times, I think I've been all of those things. But maybe some of you haven't, and maybe some of you have, and the way we interface with it is super differently. And one thing that we were going to talk about today, and we are going to talk about, is the different ways in which you might approach the series, and how Monster Hunter does more or less accommodate those things, but it shouldn't have to, and the devs are going to make what they want to make anyway. That's just how it goes. So, if you guys want to give that some thought, that'd be great. But again, I do want to preface this by saying it's not about being right. It's not about anything other than how you feel. How you feel about the media you interact with. And let's face it, media is a big part of each and every one of our lives. If you spend, 3 or 4 hours a week on Twitch talking to people about video games, this is part of your life, and it's part of how you feel, and it's to be respected as an art form.
I'm back.
So, welcome back.
What was talked about?
I was just introducing the topic in sort of a whimsical way, and really doing my best to reiterate that this is about how you personally feel, and how it is personal to you. There is not going to be a conclusion made here that is... I assume it's not going to really be agreed upon in how we both sort of interact with the series. Like, it's just...
Yeah,
we feel differently about it.
Yeah, I don't think there is a way for people to generally feel exactly the same. Even people who enjoy generally sort of like a similar thing are going to feel slightly differently about one aspect or another.
Yeah, exactly. And I know I tend to take a bit of a shitposty stance, particularly when we're casting, and occasionally my opinions have been sort of... They come across as contrarian, and I definitely want to be clear that it's not that. It's just we're all passionate about things in different ways. And for me, the series has always been about sort of experiencing these monsters, and just however I feel about it at the time. I don't mind if something's a bit of a pushover from time to time, like Somnicant. I just am glad to look at something look cool, or get those individual 1 or 2 moments that really make it sort of interesting, I guess. Like Somnicant doing its big old ring of sleep. I think that's a neat move that could only exist in Rise. Her ability to pick up different rocks and have different effects. Like, not many monsters really challenge you to look at what a monster is holding in that moment and understand what move's going to come out.
It's true.
From that kind of visual cue. So I think for Somnikant, in that aspect, I agree. She's a bit easy. She's a bit of a pushover, but I like that aspect. I feel warm just looking at this desert. I like that aspect of it.
Okay.
And you know, you are welcome to say, I enjoy the challenge, and that's it.
I don't want to make it sound like I need every monster to be like the hardest thing in the world. I think it's just like it's dependent on their position in the game. Where like I'm not expecting Great Jaggy to be some terrifying monster, but when a monster is like one of the new monsters for the game, and it's not like a beginning monster, it's like a solidly mid-game monster. Like Somnikant is placed pretty close towards the end of Hub. Like it just doesn't fit with where it's placed in the game to me, and it was kind of a bummer. I was expecting more from it. That's all, and it's always colored my enjoyment of it because I just was expecting more from a monster that's placed that where it is in the game and has cool concepts, but just not any particular patterns that make it overly threatening. That's all. And I think that I do have a hard time enjoying stuff when it's not really like tied into the core combat itself.
No, I agree. And things with an element of challenge or some really unique, like things that wall you tend to stay in your brain a bit more. That's for sure. Like something with a great and big challenge get talked about a lot longer and have that sort of staying power. And also generally they obviously have the better gear. It would suck if Somnikant had the best gear in the game. Like it would be like, oh good, I get to fight boring old Somnikant. But if you look at something like Elatrion, particularly in World or like Raging Brachydios, Furious Rajang, Furious Rajang less so than those other two, but don't let it color the entire conversation.
Sure.
You know, those things are sort of legendary for their difficulty and how tricky they are, and etc., etc., etc. Like, I don't really mind if oh, what? That was the true charge.
Yeah.
I don't want, obviously, Great Jaggy to be a super big, tough barrier to entry that is gonna kill my playthrough, like, instantly.
I think.
Oh, you're using the guard tactic.
I am, yeah. I didn't use it very much on the Switch, and I'm trying to give more Switch skills that I didn't use back then more of a fair shot. Seeing as I really can't, or I haven't been using Silk Binds or Wirefall at all, so that takes out a lot of the variety of this game's weapon kits, and so a lot of the Switch skills that aren't like actual Silk Bind attacks, I've been trying to use a bit more. No worries, Mr. Fowl. We got this guy. I was gonna say we'll come back to whatever my core enjoyment is, because I want to try and do a better job of explaining that. But I'd love to hear what it is that you find core to your enjoyment of this series, Val. I don't know if I know, so I'd like to hear.
I think it's interesting because it's a different thing on different days. Like sometimes I'm relishing in the challenge. Some days I'm just like, yeah, I just want to collect stuff and make my character look cool. I do really sort of get into not character fantasy so much like in the role-playing sense, but I have an idea of my character and what they would wear and what they would like and what looks cool and making sets that are neat and interesting, and it's a lot of things all at the same time, and I really love that the series lets me sort of explore that intentionally or otherwise. Like, I enjoy making dumb joke builds. Like the other day, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a greatsword build, but it's gonna have Slugger 5 and, you know, as many tanky abilities as I can give it, so I can just crash into a monster's head as it charges at me and hopefully get some stuns. And I think that has always been my sort of unflinching answer, the ability to make dumb little sets.
So that particular thing, making dumb sets, is your core? Like, what do you think is, like, if you had to sum it up and just, like, what, like, kind of trim back some of the things you casually enjoy, trim back some of the things that you do, like, you sometimes like, you occasionally like, what is the core of the series to you?
I think the core of the series to me is, you know, building stuff and rounding out a big collection of things whilst experiencing the individual elements that every monster brings to you making that thing.
Okay.
That's pretty... Let me round out that explanation. I enjoyed the part where, like, I have to experience every monster a few times to be able to make all of this stuff, and I get to wear it as a badge of honor, I guess. In sort of an almost, you know, obnoxious MMO-y kind of way. But,
sure.
you know, despite...
I understand that.
Yeah. I just like collecting stuff and really making a cool RPG character. That's how I've always sort of
That's really
attempted
valid.
to look at things. But then obviously I do all of the armorless hunts, and I get to approach that in sort of a, I'm actually like really sitting down and playing the game without the gear and just the tool sets. So I'm sorry to give you a sort of vague answer, but
It's hard. It's a hard question.
the core of the series to me is, if you want me to ask what I think the dev's core is, it would be
For you
different.
personally.
Yeah, for me personally, it's just it's so many things. It gives me so many opportunities to try different stuff and experience cool looking stuff.
That's neat. And I think
Like-
that probably helps when there isn't something that's like, either it's really hard and you have a hard time enjoying it, or it's just not quite the kind of challenge you're looking for. It probably helps to be like, hey, the core for me is just that I get to see a cool monster, do cool things, then make a collection of stuff out of it.
Yeah, collecting, like, in my opinion, every monster offers sort of a cool opportunity for a neat moment. Like, be it a rad dunk with the greatsword, or be it a rad dunk with the insect glaive, or be it not a rad dunk. Just sort of some cool deflection-y moments. Like, I can think on one hand some sort of, things to put in the highlight reel. Like, be it properly iframing Valstrax's dive, or watching 3 other people die to it at the same time. Like, I just, at the core of it, I think to me it's about the monsters and the gear.
Neat.
What about yourself?
I think for me, like I mentioned before, it's mainly about the core for me is I really love that this game, more than any other, has a really big variety of weapons that all have checks and balances. They have things that set them apart from one another, and that you're paired up against monsters that also have similar checks and balances. You have fast and slow weapons, you have fast and slow monsters, big and small, long ranged and short range, and combining all of those and trying to practice and learn all of them and feel challenged by trying to kind of understand those dynamics at play is my favorite thing. And it takes all kinds of different forms across the series, whether it's old school, actually across the series even varies itself, where the further back you go, the slower and more methodical everything is. The further forward you go, the more reactive and quick everything is. And like, that isn't necessarily good or bad, it's different. It makes you learn different skills, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, for me, what I look for in each of the games. That's when I approach a bunch of monsters. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in feeling challenged by their movesets with my weapons and having to learn.
Yeah, I think that's such an interesting answer, because like, on that level, I love doing that as well. Like, approaching it from someone who really likes fighting games, it's really fun to see the tool sets you're given versus the things you're given. And no, Monster Hunter's not a fighting game. Like, it's not. I know that, obviously.
But you've got your neutral and your punishes, and you've got a wide variety of tools for different situations, much like you would have fighting a game.
The word that do you know what the words you're saying mean?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
I think they do have. I think there is neutral and punishes in this game. When you're just fighting a monster,
yes,
that yeah, I know what they mean.
Yeah,
I think I do.
By that same metric, obviously they're not the same, because the form is different. Like, I know that we're not getting into this discussion, but I do want to bring it up because I'm a dick. Dark Souls has a dodge roll and melee-based combat, but they both feel very different. And I think that's the integral part. Let's not Play-Doh it, I guess. Not Play-Doh, Plato. Yeah, I was kind of shocked that you knew some of the words you were saying.
I've spent way too many hours watching competitive Smash Bros.
I'm not touching that one. Uchi can link the clip if he so chooses.
Okay. I'm not going to watch a clip right now, so it's not something I can.
No, that's fine. That's fine. The name of the clip will give you the example.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, no, I think that however you enjoy these things is really, it's individual. Now, one thing that I will ask you, I think this pertains more to speedrunning than anything, but do you think that there should be more accommodation for people who sort of interface with different playstyles? Like, let's say speedrunning. Do you think that there should be more tools for speedrunners to sort of get down with?
I think that, I mean, I don't think I'd be able to answer that. It kind of depends on the Monster Hunter team. I don't really think that they should cater to any one audience in that way. I think that they should make whatever they think they want to make. I would rather they make something that to them is what Monster Hunter's best form would be nowadays, whether that is more focus on speedrunning or more focus on collecting or whatever they find is most important. I'd rather them just make whatever they want than really try and accommodate, kind of like a course, like I feel like trying to balance for any one particular, or like design a game designed for any one particular kind of core audience in Monster Hunter, if we can reference it like that, any one group of people who appreciate it one way or another. This poor Diablos, holy crap. Would probably lead to some course correction that wouldn't be for the best. I think it would probably kind of change how the series felt a little bit if they were designing it based around what they thought a group of players wanted to feel. And I'm sure they do some of that, but I'd rather they focus more on what they truly think is best for their games.
Yeah, I guess to the core of my question would be, do you think when they're making the game, like what do you think they consider? Do you think they consider sort of the perspective of, you know, what we've been talking about, the challenge or the collecting? Do you think that they factor in speedrunners' feelings on things, etc., etc.?
I'm sure they do this to a certain extent. I don't know how, I don't feel confident really trying to guess at developer intention almost ever. It gets to be pretty, like, we've had some discussions in my chat about developer intent, and it gets to become pretty controversial because it's all pretty subjective. Some people look at one thing and they think it means one thing, and some people look at another thing in the game and they think it means the developer felt another way. And I don't really feel super confident about really what they think when they're making the games. Both because I just don't know, and also because some things just don't make a lot of sense sometimes in the games, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with that 100% as well. And I think that it's interesting that it could be such a subjective question. I'm concerned.
About? Oh.
Never mind, that's only dead. Yeah, I was concerned that I was going to die.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, also I want to clarify, I don't think Smash Bros is a party game for children. It's
no?
Just a bit.
Isn't it?
Just a gag in it. It is whatever you want it to be, because genre doesn't matter. They're just words used to describe something.
Uchi's correct when saying that Monster Hunter's never been like a single developer's vision or a single... I don't know. It's always had pretty multifaceted goals, in my opinion. That's not... I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have an intelligent thought on that or not. But I think that I don't think it's ever been really a game that you could say, oh yeah, they were clearly focused on this one thing, ever.
Yeah.
There's always been multiple factors at play.
I don't think they have an auteur Kojima-esque character at the helm.
Unless you could say it's Ryozo Sugimoto, and the core idea is hammer good.
Hammer is good.
Mm-hmm.
These Delecs are blowing up my spot, man.
I think something neat about this series is that because of that multifaceted design, because there's so many things about this game that really are kind of unique. Oh my god, these Delecs are something. There's so many things that are unique about this series that do set it apart from other series that, like, whether it's the combination in thereof or just aspects that genuinely you can't really find anywhere else. I think it leads to a lot of different people having a lot of different things that they appreciate about this game, a lot of different core ways to enjoy the game for them. For some people, it really is about collecting or about preparation or about all kinds of different things. Oh, don't tell me you're not going to jump off the top and dunk him. Get back up here.
Sorry.
We got to do this together.
I wasn't thinking. I was doing a little reading.
Oh, hang on. I told you to get back up here and then I fell off.
I'm coming.
So, Phalacin, we have a name for this on my stream. Down there in that arena, that's Pound Town.
Oh.
So we're about to take Diablos to Pound Town, both of us.
The Bang Bros are taking Diablos to Pound Town.
We are. Are you ready? The goal is to jump off and try and hit him out of the air.
I jumped the wrong way.
I hit him. It didn't kill though.
Well, If he dies in like one hit or something, I'm gonna be upset. I jumped wrong.
You jump. That's okay.
In fairness, I forgot my glasses today.
Aw. That's no good.
Nobody come.
Jagia just got wrecked. I don't know. I guess I think it's important to talk a bit about that. We talked about this a bit before stream. You asked if you think they think about different people with different enjoyments of the game when they're making the game, and I think probably, yeah, undoubtedly they do. I think it's important to acknowledge that like all those are always going to have some ups and downs trying to coexist, like they do currently. Where like sometimes when a monster is a little more casual or easy breezy, it's not going to be like the challenge that other people are looking for. Or there's all sorts of different examples of where one thing that one group of people might really enjoy might not satisfy other people who come to the same game, and I think that's okay, and that's probably always going to be part of the series, and it's worth acknowledging, especially because there is a lot of discussion across the different entries, and while games come out and updates come out and all that stuff, there are people where like some people want one thing and some people want another, and they'll get in spats, they'll get in discussions where they're kind of at each other's throats. We're like, well, this is the problem with the game. What you want is the problem with the game. It's just like, I think it's worthwhile to acknowledge that everyone's way of enjoying the game is just fine. It might not be what you actually enjoy to have fun with, but it really is just fine. And even if I don't like Somnicanth, or even if I really have a hard time enjoying like low rank world or high rank world because I feel like the monsters just don't put up much of a fight, it's like, I don't blame people who do enjoy that, especially if they enjoy it for different reasons. Like, I get it all the more then. I don't know. In some ways, I wish I could enjoy things how other people do. I don't know that I ever will, but I wish I could in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I think it's a fun topic as well, because someone's perception of something is pretty ephemeral anyway. Like, one thing that I am sort of steadfast in is the belief that if Ryozo Sugimoto was to hold a keynote and be like, this is what Monster Hunter is, it would silence so much discussion and make it so much more... It would be really interesting how quick perceptions would shift. How different people would feel just by being told what the intention is. Like,
totally.
It might not be that to you. You would still get people being like, well, no, I disagree, Ryozo. We'll take it from here, buckaroo. But I think that a lot of perceptions would change upon that, and the lack of like clearly defined answer to what the series is meant to be it's simultaneously good and also creating conversation.
I think it's good. I think it's pretty. I would consider that universally a good thing. Not telling players how they have to enjoy the game, I think, is a really nice thing indeed. And I think that I hadn't really thought about that, but I think you're right, and I think that probably is intentional.
See,
that they don't go out of their way to like explicitly define that.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's intentional, but I think for Monster Hunter in particular, it's good.
I think it is. I think you look at how they talk about additions to the games, and I don't think they're super specific about. They'll give a description of why they designed something a certain way, but it's never like, we designed this so that the hardcore players could do this, or we designed this so that our casual audience will enjoy this. Like, they don't really go out of their way to do that. They leave a lot of things open to interpretation. And I think that's important because, like you said, even if it wasn't changed from like, even if they just went back and retroactively described why they made those decisions about a game, it would change people's impressions of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think to an extent, it's fascinating to me, at least, because sometimes to me it feels like maybe they don't define it because they don't know. Yeah. And that would be okay too. That's
also okay, yeah. They don't always need to know the magic recipe they're making. They just gotta be good cooks.
Yes. And I think that's it's very interesting. And I guess at the core of what we're discussing, like, I know sometimes on the cast we try and come to conclusions on these things. And I hope that we both made it clear. There is no right answer here. It's just to point out within a sea of discourse that how you enjoy things is totally fine and totally valid. And even if it's everything all at once and you've dabbled in everything, good. Good. Also, iced tea, don't be a bully.
I think we circle back to this sort of air quotes conclusion. It's not a conclusion, but this sort of takeaway fairly often, and that there's just like numerous ways to feel about something in these games, and that it's all right to have different opinions. And I don't want it to feel super duper samey, but especially folks who, I feel like people who hang around both of our streams probably hear that pretty regularly, because both of us, I feel like, talk about nuance and talk about, I don't know, how different people can feel different ways, and that being all right pretty often. But I think it's important, and I don't particularly mind having that be sort of our takeaway from a lot of our discussions here on stream. It's just like, you know what? There are different ways to enjoy things, and that's kind of wonderful. Even if even if it does lead to like compromise in one way or another that we do or don't like that's okay. Life's full of compromises, and that's all right. That's healthy.
Yeah, at the risk of having an intimate moment. That's like part of the reason I asked you very specifically to do this cast with me, is because I knew we felt similarly, and we didn't want to lead into like the Twitter engagement generation of discourse all of the time that sometimes communities tend to fall into. I think it's very important to understand that while we're discussing this, we're working it out just as much as others do, and we don't have all of the answers, and that's okay. You can't always have the answers to things. I think it's nice. But yeah, that would be a big part of the reason that I asked you specifically, I would say.
Well, thanks. It makes me happy to, I know this sounds silly too. It makes me happy to find other people out there who enjoy things like that. Not just yourself, but people in both of our chats. It's heartening. There's a lot of, there's lots of negativity and division in the world in lots of different ways.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to find people all over the place who can just say hey, that's different than how I feel, and that's okay.
Yeah. I do tend to worry that people paint themselves into a corner of having to have sort of have these.
That's Mizu for you.
These big takes or big opinions, and it's like all art. It's super subjective to how you feel. Not just right now, but how that opinion's going to change, because it will change. How I feel today is it's over the course of having done this cast for what, 4-ish months now?
Yeah.
5-ish months? Like, my opinions have changed, and how I discuss things has changed, and that's partially due to a desire not to lean into being big smarty pants guy, and truly take a more measured approach to games just in general. And I think that's good and important. And what do we do here? We just don't hit it?
No, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, I've been avoiding starting monster rides entirely in my playthrough. But you don't have to do by my rules. When I've been doing multiplayer, I've been cheating a little bit. Okay, don't tell chat.
We like to cheat just a touch. What's chat though? But yeah, it's interesting that you say don't tell chat, and it's not like, I know you're being facetious, but jumping off point. Sometimes I think about how I approach challenge runs and stuff, and I think that this ties in nicely. And it's like, sometimes people will be like, oh well, did you use this? And it's like, yeah, sometimes, it doesn't matter, blah blah blah. The desire to lean into that sort of gamer heavy sort of rule set. I forgot to get potions and stuff between hunts, by the way. So
I was wrong way, buddy. I was trying to help you out with the pig.
I'm going back to get stuff. But yeah, just play games however you want. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter even slightly, because it's video games, and I won't go for my normal sign off on that one, but it's just video games, isn't it?
Martz has a question. Martz Tip in the chat has a question for you, I believe, relating to this discussion, Phal. I think they're loading up your chat right now, but they probably don't know that you're also looking at mine.
I'm reading my own chat.
You also are reading mine, though, yeah?
I'm reading both.
Yep.
I see Steve saying he doesn't read his own chat.
Yeah.
I just haven't had anything valuable to say.
It's especially hard to keep up with chat when doing a podcast like this. It's something that I regret, but it's a regrettable part of a necessity for a discussion like this to take place a lot of the time.
Yes. Yeah. you know, just to have it said at least once. It's not that we don't love you, chat. It's just that sometimes the parents have to fight while you sit in your high chair and just listen.
That's a weird analogy.
Isn't it just?
So which one of
Probably
the
the
parents
worst
is Rathian in this situation?
Are you implying I'm Jan Garuga-esque?
I don't know.
Or Rat?
You tell me. I know you've got work out in your head.
What do I think of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite? I did not have fun with it. I tried to have fun with it. I've been told, give it another whirl until G rank. Hypnocatress being as boring as Hypnocatress was really soured me.
Did people oversell you on Hypnocatrice?
No one I think I oversold myself on how unique that fight was actually going to be.
I did that with Fatalis. Ooh, nice.
Anyway, you fucker, you know that I've been trying to not Streisand affect myself on the Rathian thing. Do you know how much damage control I'm running now?
Oh, what?
Just
I don't know
like-
what you're talking about.
Just to oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Innocent over here. I've been working hard. People, they're like, haha, look at this dude, he wants to kiss Rathian. Joke's on you. When I'm making billions of dollars on my sexy Rathian ducky markers, you are gonna rue the day. And
Dude, you're gonna owe me royalties. Is what's gonna happen.
No, I'm not gonna owe you royalties. Maybe we can screw. That's just how it's gonna go, okay? Okay? Goldian? Not Goldian. Greenian. Maybe Pinkian. But not Goldian. Goldian.
He's got very
perish.
specific tastes.
I don't have a crush on anything that's not human. Alright? That's been a large rule of mine. You know, just through being alive. You guys do what it's like Monster Hunter, you know. You guys you want to kiss what you want to kiss, and I don't want to kiss not human beings. Goldian bad.
Just across
What
the
were we
board,
talking
Goldie and
about?
bad. I don't even know. I believe Marks was asking you a question about Freebie Night.
Oh, yeah, it was
So so I have a question. Similar to how I have a hard time enjoying some parts of World, I think I would honestly enjoy Master Rank quite a bit whenever I get to it. And I'm looking forward to getting to play that part. Legitimately, I'm looking forward to getting to play that part of that game again someday. Similar to how due to how I enjoy the games, I had a tough time kind of getting into that one and really enjoying it. What do you think about Freebie Night made it kind of difficult for you to get into that one? Was it just too obtuse? Like, what was it?
mainly I don't like old Monster Hunter hitboxes.
That's valid. Freebie Nights are pretty screwed. Like, really screwed.
Like, whenever I was fighting a Tigrex, it was like, oh, you are just the worst. Like, I just felt agitated fighting him. I was, like, annoyed that he existed. That was mostly, yeah, that was a big part of it. And I didn't really get anything out of the experience that I didn't feel I could experience in, like, 3.
Martz has a pretty nice question about this, which is, did it feel like was it because they didn't line up with the hitboxes, or it just felt like they were too big for you to deal with second gen movement?
Yes. Yes
Both?
to both.
That's valid.
Like, I think that's fair. And then, you know, there's obviously... let me detail my last few sessions with Freedom Unite. It was, oh boy, I'm excited to do Shen-Goran. Oh wait, it just stands still and I hit its legs. Oh, gee whiz, Azure Rathalos? I like that guy. Oh, he does around the world nigh constantly and has time to. And then it's like, okay, good. Breath of fresh air. I'm up to Hypnocatress. How exciting. And then it's just like, yep, it's Jan Kutku, but it makes you go to sleep sometimes. And then I was like, why am I doing this? And the only reason I would continue is to experience Yamasukami, and I want to, at some point.
What about OG Ucanlos?
How about G? Well, I've done Ucanlos in other games.
No, OG, like the original.
Is he much different?
Yeah.
Do I care? Okay, well, there would be that too. But I'd be doing... If if I'm gonna do the hub, I'm gonna do it with people, and I'm not going to do it solo because I'm not going to pretend that that's how I would enjoy that more.
That's fair.
Sorry, I think that might have sounded like I was, being derisive to your opinion. Like, what do I care about Ucanthos? I like Acanthos. Well, I don't like Ucanthos. I like Acanthos. But
I mean, I wouldn't say he's like that. I mean, he's still Ucanthos, but some of his moves work differently. I'd say the whole thing's harder than a lot of other versions of Ucanthos.
Which Azulos do I like? I like 3U onwards. Like, literally any of them that are not second gen.
Wow.
But yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. Like, I'll appreciate I do my best to appreciate any monster, but anytime I was playing Freedom Unite, my favorite hunting experience in Freedom Unite was a Lunastra of all things.
Really?
So that's sort of a positive takeaway. Yeah, I had a great time doing the Lunastra hunts.
Yeah, it's because she used to be a pretty cool monster.
Yeah, Axe Mode is my favorite dog. Even in GU, I would always just use Tempest Axe because it's more fun. But yeah, she was cool in Freedom Unite.
I think she has some pretty cool bits in World too. She's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Please stop sliding. Stop sliding. But yeah, I enjoyed that. But look, I just want to experience Yamasukami and then bounce out like a G for the most part.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. We stun. Nope, didn't stun her.
Oh, that's got a sting, right? Watching me do like one hit.
It's okay.
After you cop that hit.
Yeah, a little bit. Nice. It's limp.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Why does Mizu need to go flying across the zone when it flips? When it trips, it's slippery.
Yeah, it's like it secretes soap from its soap glands. Which sounds like a ridiculous joke sentence. But I imagine it's scented like lilacs.
Yeah, it would. Got sucked in by that attack.
You reckon, Chip? Yeah, it was maybe among some of the sassier things I've said today. Mainly because no one's asked me if a thumb is a finger.
I don't want to know.
I mean, it's not like a dirty conversation.
No, I know, just that sort of thing is a hot dog a sandwich is something that I've learned to just ignore on Twitch.
Oh yeah, I lean into it sometimes, but let me take a quick sidebar to explain to you the definition of sophistry. Having conversations that sound smart, but are in reality a gigantic waste of time. Like, is water wet? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Is a thumb a finger? The answer is whatever you think it is, because it doesn't fucking matter.
Does that apply to most of our topics on the podcast then?
Literally, if both you and I died, our contributions to society would be, not missed on the Monster Hunter front.
Fair.
I mean, Uchi might miss it, but like, it's not gonna change the world to come to any of these conclusions.
No.
I'm sorry for the slightly, even jokingly, brutal tone in which I said it. I forgot that.
You're good.
I'm
not upset.
Yeah, I know. It was meant to be funny though. It was meant to be a haha, and I think it came across as like less than
nothing we do matters.
Yeah, it sounded like pseudo, lazy nihilism, which I don't like. But yeah, that's it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? And honestly, like, if I'm a bit more sincere on it, every conversation you have that might help expand the way someone thinks about something or feels about something that actually applies to their everyday life, like Monster Hunter, it's way more than it is water wet conversation.
better than hot dog sandwich conversation.
Yeah, you know, what does it matter if a hot dog's a sandwich? You know, how does that information benefit your life? It doesn't, but it might benefit your life to hear how other people think about things that you enjoy and their perspectives. Yeah, I'm not cynical. I'm far from cynical. I am anti-cynicism because cynicism is lazy. Like, actually the laziest. In my IMO. Oh yeah, there we go. But sophistry, I do my best not to engage in it, if I can. Oh, my character's laughing. He's having a little chuckle. That was my last key before the urgent, by the way.
Would you like to do the urgent?
I would love to do the urgent.
I'd be honored to help you.
Cool. And after the urgent, we should do the ticket, and then picking of
Right. We're gonna let chat pick our weapons.
Yeah, for an arena hunt.
Are we? Oh, right, arena. Yeah, that should be fun. You don't unlock high rank arena right away. I haven't unlocked the high rank arena myself yet.
Yeah, that's okay. The Blue Apex.
To anybody who's just joining us, welcome and thanks for being here. We've had some nice meandering conversations tonight about a variety of things, about the different strengths and weaknesses of World and Rise and other entries in the series, both portable and mainline, kind of bouncing off each other and making a case for them continuing to have a split, to continue to explore sorts of different ideas. We've talked a little bit about how different people have different cores of what they enjoy in the series and how that can color whether they enjoy a game or not, or whether they can get over certain hangups they might have in one game or another. You have a question if you guys are taking them from chat? I think we're just about done with the topics that we wrote down. So at this point, this is kind of the time of night where we're going to open things up and just chat for a while.
Someone in my chat says, "World is shit, Frontier is Kino." I have a response to that, and that is, I'm glad you feel that way.
I thought your voice cut out there like you muted.
No. It's not a conducive way to start a conversation. Take care, Claire.
My response is...
Beta response? Yeah, well, having hardline stances on anything makes you a wiener. Have a good one.
Did someone really just say beta response to you?
Yeah. Sorry. I forgot that I'm not on that alpha sigma grind, you know, being rude to women and having strong feelings on video games. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
Nuance and opinions for suckers.
Yeah, agreed. Alright, let's have fun with this video game and move ahead.
Yeah, let's play some Monster Hunter, friend.
Yeah. Just, you know, I hope they feel like they won. They seem like they need it.
We should really be playing a real video game. I don't know what we're doing with our time here, Phalacin, when we could really be playing a real video game like Call of Duty.
We could.
I've been thinking about this for a while. That's the real reason I don't want to play Sunbreak at launch, is I think it's time for me to start playing an actual video game.
Warzone streams with Rist.
That's what they meant by Kino. They meant we should go play Kino der Inatoten, the zombie map.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't even think that's the name of the map.
I got it.
I think I got it wrong, but it's okay. We
I
all
got
knew
it.
what we were talking about. Yeah, Kino der Toten, that's the one.
You know, I do want to touch on this a little bit more. Just like the concept of a beta response. That person
Let's do it.
effectively got told to fuck off, and they didn't understand that that's the opposite of a beta response. A beta response would be me pushing my fingers together and being like, well, actually, it's all about what you like in it, which is actually how I feel. Because I knew where that was going, they got politely told to kick rocks, to pound sand. So, you know, just... I want to put that out there. What the distinction between a beta response and you're not worth the breath to answer your desire response.
I don't really spend any time
my
thinking about alpha and beta or sigma or whatever. Like I don't even know if I could
That's
really
'cause you're a
define to you the
That's
things that
'cause
they're
you're a
supposed to mean. So I have nothing to contribute.
Because you're a sigma male.
If you say so, I don't know what that means. We're going with it. That's what Phalacin says. I'm gonna put it in my Twitter bio. @Phalacin says I'm a sigma male.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Anyway. It's not like anyone really thinks about that stuff. It's just words, isn't it?
Apparently some people do.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, anyone who refers to them as an alpha, you know, they probably have a podcast in which they talk about how shite women are or something.
I was gonna reference like wolf mating, but maybe we shouldn't do that on Twitch.
Yeah, maybe not. It would be a bad look for you after insinuating I kiss Rathians. I like you being. I would never bully you, Lapwolf. I love you and miss you every day.
Huh?
Anyway, good talk. Sorry, I was chat message.
Let's play the rampage.
Yeah, Mark, would you like to ask you a Monster Hunter related question?
They did. Their question was, what's your favorite urgent?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It is. I don't know about you. Do you remember all the urgents?
In this game?
No, and just in all the games, like all the urgents you've ever done.
Well, that's a cheeky question because it's just, what's your favorite monster that also happens to be an urgent?
Well, sometimes they're like a specific, pretty tough one, right? You know, Nox, I haven't. We were talking about something similar a moment ago, but no, I haven't asked Val.
No, that's not fair. I didn't even have anything to do with that conversation. All right.
Uchi, I didn't even see what they said. Wow, thank you for grabbing whatever that was. I didn't even see them come over to our chat.
Person.
Yeah, they came over. I didn't even see what they said. Thanks for nabbing whatever it was, Uchi.
It's ironic that someone named Tenebrarius, the Philosophic, would take the most hardline stance on video games. There is just such delectable and sweet irony there, I could bathe. Beautiful. Num num num.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember all of the urgents.
Me neither. I have a hard time remembering urgents even in this game. Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't remember them that much, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Cop-out answer. Lagiacrus.
What topic are we on, Nox? We're kind of in between topics. We've had quite a variety of discussions, both specific and pretty nebulous tonight.
Sometimes nebulous good.
Shen, Rosie says Shen Galren. Fowl was just talking about how they don't like Shen Galren.
Yeah, I found it a little boring, but hey, you know, it's about what's your favorite, not about what's my favorite.
It's true.
Pardon my beta response.
Let's move on.
I did get the impression that would be the straw that broke the camel's back. My bad.
You're good. I'm trying to get status ailments applied right now in this rampage. That's fine. This rampage is apparently always the same objectives, and they suck. They're a bad set of objectives. Some rampages, you get objectives that kind of feel like they snowball into one another and kind of give you a nice game plan you can act out to get all of them done. This one just has a bunch of random goals that are kind of, I don't know, to me they seem counterintuitive. I legitimately can't really remember a lot of the urgent quests. Like, I can remember certain monsters that feel particularly tough at different points during ranks. Like, for me, like, Pink Rathian and 4 Ultimate is a pretty good example of, like, one that's, like, every time you encounter that thing in both high and G rank, it's pretty difficult, but I don't think it's an urgent in either case.
I think it's a fun question, nonetheless.
Yeah, if you want to list some fish kebab, you can feel free and do that. I just have a hard time remembering. I don't think I remember certain details about quest progression like that, the same way that other people might, especially if those people were, let's say, making custom quests. Oops. Hello, Simba. Welcome. We're talking about Monster Hunter and all kinds of different things about it tonight.
Yeah. Welcome on.
The high rank one's an urgent? Well, that's one of the ones that sticks out in my memory. Double Tigrex is definitely a classic. That quest feels just impossible. When you released it, felt just impossible to me when I first got to it in Freebie Night. Because Tigrex on his own is already like just such a mean mamma jamma in that game. So difficult in so many different ways.
Agreed.
That, like, the thought of having to kill 2 of them in the same quest is just terrifying. And Fal, have I talked with you about how they can sync up before?
Tigrex?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that, no.
Okay, so you know how you fight Tigrex on the snowy mountains in Freebie Night, yeah? Well, their AI isn't the most complex, so occasionally, if you leave them in the same area together, and then you die, or you leave the area to go gather herbs or something, occasionally their AI will sync up. Not just in that like they'll both roar at the same time, but as in they'll start walking around in the same area and they'll start walking the same paths, and sometimes they will legitimately phase inside one of another. Like, where they will occupy the same space. I've had it happen to me. There's some clips, not of me, but of another person having this happen online, where you'll walk in and you'll go, well, one of my paintballs must have wore off because I only see one of them here. And you'll start hitting it, and then one of them will stagger, and you'll see one head peel back from the other, and you'll go, oh my god, there's two of them. And like the animations will look kind of funky, where like it'll be like, it's kind of weird. It almost looks like the polygons aren't working quite right there. It's like, to this day, whenever I do the quest with the two Tigrex in the snowy mountains, even though I've like had this happen before and like I kind of know what it's supposed to look like, I still get gaslit by it every time where I'm like, they've done it, they've doubled up, there's two of them here, isn't there? And I hit it for a while and I'm like, never mind, it's just one. But it's terrifying. Anyways, there you go, here's your nightmare. There's your nightmare fuel. You should play Freedom Unite, by the way.
Yeah, I don't dislike Freedom Unite. I'm just not prepared to dedicate time to it. Now, the next time I revisit second gen will either be I get conned into doing all multiplayer hub for Freedom Unite so that I can experience Yamashikami, or Frontier gets a private server. That's
happening.
Contentious, and we'll move right past that one.
It's happening eventually.
Yep. I just didn't want to dwell on the contentious aspect. There's more where I was going.
I don't know. Folks can go out there and play it right now if they want to, but I think it's advisable to wait.
I agree. I need to shoot with the cannon.
That's what happens when you force two white Fatalis on Hunter's Road. They start synced up and eventually jostle themselves apart. It's a terrifying effect, isn't it, Nefudis?
Yeah, I wonder why it happens. It's probably just that the AI,
it's
like maybe they pull.
Yeah, it's just janky old AI patterns, I think.
Yeah. Do you think that it's because they have a specific AI patterning and they can get sort of stuck within it? Like
I think it's just... I think they have few enough variations on their AI and how they move around those areas in response to different things that happen, like the player leaving or the player carding, whatever it may be that syncs them up. I think it's like they have few enough options to pull from, or certain things force them to go back to a set thing, that they end up doing that.
Interesting.
Simba asks what we main. For me personally, I try and play all the weapons, but the one I'm most comfortable with is sword and shield. I feel like that might be the same answer for you, right, Fal?
Yeah, exactly the same answer. It's my... I wouldn't say I main it at this point, but it's definitely my favorite one.
Comfort pick, maybe.
Yeah. Mainly same because I enjoyed the aesthetic, I enjoy the versatility. You know, it's just good stuff, you know? Good, clean fun. No hum on the blacksmith.
Alright, I'm gonna try my best to get a Dragonator or a Splitting Wyvern Shot repel.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna put down a Dragon Bait if I have one. I do. It's gonna be right here. We gotta weaken him up a little bit first, though.
It really bugs me that even if you repel two monsters with this,
Oh shoot! I think we might have gotten one there, but we screwed it up. Maybe, I don't know. We repelled one.
No, yeah, I think it's not relative to the amount of repels though. You can only get one per use of it.
No, you can get more than one. It's how many you repel with it. It's weird. It's badly localized, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Yeah, no, I always found myself a little bit frustrated on that one.
Martha asks, is there a weapon you used to adore that you've fallen out of love with and you wish you could love again? That's an interesting question. What do you think, Fal?
Oh, I find that I'm always learning something new about them. Like, coming back to this playthrough, I'm like, yep, I'm going to use more Insect Glaive, and then going back to World, I'm like, I want to use more Greatsword, because I didn't learn 5th gen Greatsword, and then in 3U, I want to learn Greatsword, because I didn't learn 3rd gen Greatsword, so it's always, there's always some learning.
For me, it's Lance. Lance was one of the two weapons that I really got into when I first started playing the series, Longsword and Lance. And I've kind of become more in love with like gun lance over the last handful of games, and I have a harder time just getting into the. It's not even that I dislike lance. It's just like it's not one of my go-tos anymore. It's not one of the ones where I mauled out and try and do really tough challenges and end up making great memories with it. And I want to change that because I really do love lance, and I want to do better with it again, and like just have some fun experiences learning with it, trying some tough stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Lance, good. Gun lance, good because gun and also lance.
Is there a drop material anywhere? Oh yeah, there is. Let's finish that one up. Let's finish installing stuff.
Yeah. Alright, I told that man to go in the floor. Now I ask him to come back out of the floor.
Yep, you do that.
I press the wrong buttons.
Have you had any changes about how you feel about this mode on your second time through?
No, not really. It's kind of just there, isn't it?
Same here. I think I like it as like a change of pace when you're in multiplayer, but that's about it. I think it's more fun when you go for the objectives.
I'm glad they put it in. I don't care for it that much, but I'm glad it's there.
Would you like to help me shovel coal?
Oh, I love shovel a little coal.
We even have a command for it in my stream. Simba's favorite bug to use is the Carnage Beetle, and they call them Lisa. I dig that.
That's a nice.
Okay,
why
we're
Lisa?
good.
Curious.
Yeah, why Lisa, Simba?
I like to know things. Also, Insect Glaive, great pick.
Insect Wave's pretty sick. So versatile. It's not a comfort weapon in the same way that Sword and Shield is to me. Insect Wave is a comfort weapon to me in that it's been basically the same ever since it was introduced, and I love that about it. Oh, that was last round's objective. I forgot. Oh well.
It's cool. It's cool. It's all good. We do a little piercing. We do a little blasting. That's good stuff. Like I said before, good clean fun. We love good clean fun around these parts.
What's my least favorite? I don't really have a least favorite. That's actually a question that used to come up a lot, and it doesn't come up as often anymore. I don't really have a least favorite anything. Like Monster, I mean, I guess Vespoid Queen, but I don't even, that's more of a joke. I don't really dislike Vespoid Queen that much. I don't really have a least favorite weapon either. I certainly have matchups that really bother me in certain games, or I have weapons in specific entries of the series where like I just have a hard time with it. Like I just play it poorly, and so I struggle, but I don't really have a least favorite. Well, like, I don't actually intensely hate Vespoid Queen. Like if somebody was like, would you remove Vespoid Queen forcibly from Freebie Night? I would not.
I might.
It was all a performance. It's not a performance. It's just like, I can be reasonable. I can be reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't call her chill. I wouldn't call Vespoid Queen chill.
She's a bit gross, huh?
Alright, we just gotta inflict a status ailment and we're set. Nice job. This is a lot better than solo. Solo, this rampage destroyed me in terms of the objectives. I didn't do them very well. Alright, your first Apex in this playthrough. We didn't set up anything in the second area. Whoops!
Hey.
We'll do it on the fly.
What's it matter? I got to describe us the other day. You're the glasses wearing genius, and I get to be a bit more of a loose cannon renegade. So you're not keeping in the theme there. You were meant to go set everything up, while I was meant to say, no, I don't care, man. Game's stupid. Just hit thing. And you were meant to seem more clever, but now we're both the renegade, the loose cannon.
Maestronox asks if we like sort of the traditional augment system or the Rise ramp-ups a little more. I think I like the ramp-ups personally, because they're a little more subtle, and they're a little more varied. They let you kind of tailor things. It's not just like, I don't know, it's not just like straight up attack, health, defense. It's like all sorts of different things, which is cool, I think.
I agree, yeah. I like that too, being able to tailor the weapon a bit more. The only unfortunate aspect of it is, in the most part, for the most part, you have like two stat options. one of which is obviously going to be objectively better, and then you have like the fun one, which is not incredibly applicable in a lot of situations.
Yeah, they could do more creative
wish
ones.
they
I feel
leaned
like... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I wish that they leaned into the sort of wacky element a little bit more.
I think they actually did a better job of that than they do with most of their stuff. Like when you think about how many wacky armor skills there are, or the lack thereof, I think they did a better job with the ramp ups than they do usually in terms of designing kind of wacky options, if that makes sense. Things that might have some synergies.
Do all of the Apexes have the same theme?
Yes.
You know, it's not a bad theme.
Phalacin, would you like to ride some Roggy with me?
I would.
Watch this. I never learned. I learned this recently from Sakurai. You can use Itsushi, and he'll make all of these guys mountable at once, and you can ride them simultaneously and have a great time. Riding monsters against the Apex.
Are you on yours?
I am. Let's get it. You and me, buddy. We're riding into battle on our trusty steeds. Mars wants us to verse each other. I could never.
Yeah. Scared of losing.
I actually did lose. I accidentally didn't do the finisher. Give me my shinies. Give me my shinies. Okay.
We could always do the PvP from the training area.
We could.
Where you climb up on the rope and knock each other off.
I've actually not done that.
I don't know which weapon it would be the best for it. I imagine Gunlance.
You speak from personal experience there, so yeah. Rosie wants me to grab the shiny. How am I to deny? The gate? Screw that. Shiny. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's okay. He can destroy the whole village, provided you get the shiny.
I actually have lost a rampage.
I didn't know that was... What does it look like? I've never seen
the gate gets destroyed. The gates get more and more dilapidated, and then they get destroyed, and you fail.
Does it... You get like a cool cutscene where the monster like walks through the gate?
I think you actually do. I mean, it's not the monster walking through the gates, but it might be like a bunch of monsters charging forward, like they win. Yeah. I might be misremembering, but I think that was the thing that played when I lost, and I was very surprised.
Also, I think for Rosiana, we could lose a rampage to pick up shinies. It's okay. You got to make some special exceptions for folks. You know?
Anyone ever lost a rampage? Am I the only one? Imagine, Phalacin, if between all the people in your chat and all the people in my chat. Okay, no, I'm good. Chips has also failed one. I'm not alone.
Oh. Well,
Chips, you and I have a kinship in a way that nobody else in this chat does.
Chips again. Literally an hour ago? Oh no. You poor thing. I assume you're still recovering emotionally.
Ah! Angani did too. Cool. I'm glad I'm not alone. I think it happens where, like, if you're fighting it and you've brought gear where you feel like, okay, against the monster, you're probably going to be fine. But if you're trying to multitask and, like, clear objectives or something, it can be very, I don't know, it can be easy for things to go a little haywire. I feel like the classic Rampage thing is getting overwhelmed by what you think you're supposed to be doing or what you want to accomplish at any given point, and then kind of, like, ending up not accomplishing anything because you're just running around back and forth. Oops. Whoops, that was supposed to be canceled into charging my shield, but it wasn't.
Alright, here's a fun one. What's your favorite status ailment in the game?
I think sleep is really fun. I think sleep enables a lot of fun dynamics, both in multiplayer and solo, in terms of ways you can approach a hunt, and just every time you get a sleep in multiplayer, it's kind of a fun little moment of like, all right, who's gonna screw it up, or all right, who's gonna be the wake up king or queen?
Yeah, you're right. I think that is a good one.
It's just very, and it's, I don't know. There's loads of games where you get to paralyze something and then deal damage to it, or like, I don't know, like poison something and have its health tick down. Pretty unique for a monster to go to sleep and then take double damage, I feel like. Like, I don't know. There probably is an example of another game that has that particular mechanic, but I can't name it.
Yeah, you know, I actually didn't consider the practical element of my question. I was just like, which one do you like thematically?
Oh, well, sleep.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's sort of the question of like, what type of Pokemon do you like, but applied to Monster Hunter.
Oh, I missed. Shoot.
Oh, there's some fellas here.
There are, yeah. If we hadn't already completed our objectives, it would be a good time to do those.
Iced tea, no.
I still don't know what that's referencing.
Oh, yeah, good. I'll abridge it. There's just a really disgusting, like, post about someone being thirsty for a Pokemon.
Gotcha.
That's all it is. And it's, like, real long-winded. And it became a conversation because a mutual of mine on Twitter saw it for the first time and posted it. I said, it's always a bad day when someone sees this for the first time.
Was it infamous on the scale of the Wyverian egg question?
It's way worse than that.
Way worse than a Wyverian egg question.
Way worse. Yes.
All right, good. Good to know. Good to know. I will avoid it like I avoided the Wyverian egg question.
Yeah, dude. But do you think Wyverians lay eggs?
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, again, sophistry. Doesn't matter if we get the answer. I hope Ryozo comments on it, just so people don't ever mention it.
You know they won't. Oh my god. Can you imagine?
I could imagine him in a sort of very polite, like... well, that's the Nintendo Direct tomorrow. That's all 40 minutes. It's just Ryozo
just
Sujimoto
Wyverian
saying,
eggs? Oh no.
Sunbreak is cancelled. This is what we're discussing.
This is your punishment. Sunbreak cancelled. Here's your answer. In excruciating detail. No.
Sunbreak is cancelled unless each of you that ever discussed this write me a 400-word essay on why you were wrong.
That's Sunbreak's plot. Oh no.
I could imagine a world...
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I could imagine a world in which they flesh out that answer, like, unintentionally, not even for, like, in a fairly innocent way. Just quietly.
We almost got that.
Cutscene. I've skipped the cutscene.
You skipped it?
Yeah, I've seen it before, so, you know,
Okay.
it's not new information.
Sure. Hey, look at you, Mr. HR4.
Woohoo! Well, hey!
We're just speeding through, aren't we?
Yeah, look at us go. Oh, let's go. He's got some stuff for me. Honing my hunting horn, study the switch axe, learning the light bowgun. He didn't give me the one for insect glaive.
What if they got rid of charms and added accessory slots? What does that mean? What's an accessory slot? Like ramp ups?
I think Nox means instead of them having slots for, you know, on your weapons and armors, like they remove that element, you instead get like 4 or 5 accessories like bracelet, earrings, you know, rings that would function the same but without worrying about slots.
Good night to Simba and Chips, both of them heading off to bed for the night. Thanks to everybody who joined us tonight so far.
Yeah, I've had a good time today.
At this point, we're going to do something kind of special. We're going to let you guys pick our weapon for an arena quest.
Yeah.
So, how this works is over in my chat. If you want to go ahead and type !ticket in the chat, if I draw your name out, that means you get to pick both Phalacin and I's weapons for this next hunt that we're going to do here. Not something we usually do on podcast night.
No, but I thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
We tend to introduce a challenge or a goofy element, and I think that this would be a good one to introduce.
I felt like today's goofy element was producer Ryozo sitting over our shoulders while we picked our top 3 choices for Sunbreak returning monsters.
Well, hey, we get 2 of them then.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, Gog asks, to follow up on statuses, what is your favorite blight or affliction like that can be applied to your hunter? And he asks, why is it stench? For me, it is totally stench.
I think that stench is unique in that it really does handicap you and it gets you good.
Yeah, I like it because Kongolala farts.
Well, divorced from that.
Such impact, dude. I know he does, Doc Crotchel. That's why I said that.
I just don't like that word even. I just don't.
Do you
Like I
Australian?
said,
do you in Australia have a different word for it that you find preferable?
No, I just don't like it at all. Before someone says it's natural, man, shut up. I didn't ask. I know. All right? I just don't like it. Yeah, I don't. It's just I've got my own limits. I've got a point at which the gross out value hits me. Maybe I'm just a bit repressed. Not repressed. That's not English.
Phalacin, how would you feel about having a sound redeem in your chat that was an anus sound redeem? That might seem out of context, but it's not. Not really.
What? Can I have the context?
A friend of mine has that or had that in their chat at one point in time.
It's the sound of a vibrating anus, I assume.
No, not quite.
Is it a human being saying the word anus out loud?
Yeah, pretty much. Has it really been that long that people don't even know? Okay, I gotta stop referencing that then. If people who genuinely don't know about that redeem, then I just have to stop referencing it.
People can do whatever they want on their stream.
That was a redeem on SD Shepherd's stream several years ago, and I guess people don't know about it anymore, which just makes me just sound like a weirdo. Never mind.
I see. No, it doesn't make you... Look, nothing you can say will ever top some of the more odd conversations we've had here. But... why did they have that? Why did Shep have that?
Because his chat really liked it, I think, and it was something he said at one point.
He said the word anus out loud.
Probably many times. But I don't know. That's why that redeem is why I've said that I think that redeem is why I've said in the past that a road to an anus-filled chat is a slippery one. You gotta be careful with your chat.
It's a good way to say it. It's multi-fold as well, that particular sentence. But no, I don't have sound redeems here because, what would I put? People would like.
All right.
People would ask things.
I'm gonna end this weapon raffle here soon. we're gonna move on from that one.
I do like that Nox is banned somewhere.
Wrath of God. What would you like? What would you like me and Phalacin to use in our arena quest? Let's take a look. What arena quest do you want to do? We have Kuluyaku, Baroth, and there's an arena quest on an actual map with Royal Ludoth and Narga. Which one would you like to do?
We could also do the challenge quests.
Ooh, you're right. Oh, that would be much more fun. Which one of the challenge quests would you like to do? We could do Magnamalo. You know Magnamalo pretty well.
Yeah, I'm good for whatever. It's Gog's choice, isn't it?
What are the weapon choices for this quest? I'll show you in a second.
And you get to pick both of our weapons, Gog. You can choose 2 distinct weapons, or you can make us both play the same thing. But yeah, please enjoy.
Okay, the choices are dual blades, longsword, hammer, switch axe, and light bowgun. Seal our fates, Gog. Assign us our classes.
Is the hammer courage, they ask?
Let's see.
It is...
Water strike, courage.
Yeah. Uchi, you can't,
Double courage hammer it is.
Okay.
I like how Gog thinks.
I like how Gog thinks as well. How do I play this again? You press circle, and that's courage hammer. Is this the one that's... Yeah, this is Valor from GU.
We have Evade Extender on this set. Evade Extender, Courage Hammer.
And Water Strike. Wait, is it Water Strike?
It's the counter.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your circle button. Do we roll so far? I landed on top of the platform. You're not doing Courage Hammer. I was planning on just using Water Strike, to be honest with you.
Is it Water Strike?
All right, for Gog, I'll do Courage.
Is it Water Strike?
It is. It said so.
I thought it had like a visual effect whenever you did it.
Ow. Well, Water Strike isn't part of charging. It's just the circle button in neutral.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I
Did
thought
not
it had
have
like
it?
a visual.
It does if you are successful, says Gog.
Okay.
Oof. I don't feel very confident. I'll say that. How do you feel, Phalacin? What are your feelings?
In Water Strike or this hunt?
This hunt.
Oh,
I think we'll finish it. But how do you feel about our time?
Oh yeah, time. That's the thing.
It's the challenge quest.
Maybe if I stopped dicking around so hard, it would be, you know, nice. Yeah!
What?
I hit the Water Strike on the dive.
Oh, nice. Good stuff. I haven't even tried Water Strike properly yet. I
Sorry.
failed it twice now, though.
That was very... Oh, man. That was really fun.
I've missed several times over.
Sorry.
All good.
Oh, it doesn't even matter. Let's go. It was intentional, Ice-T. Get out of here. I wound up for it and everything.
Wow. I remember the Water Strike timing being a lot tighter. I keep trying to do it like right beforehand, but you gotta lead into it a bit.
Yeah, it has wind-up rings for sure. Oh shit!
I failed the wind up. I should probably just do it in neutral to see what it looks like. I can't remember what it looks like even.
Yeah, I did it a few times to sort of feel it out.
Right. Oh, that's not what I thought he was doing at all. I think you flinched him out of another move and he canceled into that one. That was interesting.
There are a few instances of him having an interesting option select after a flinch. I think one of them, he can do one of 3 moves.
I failed the timing. That's okay. I'll get it eventually.
Hey, practice makes perfect. Ooh, that was interesting.
Whoops. Marks, you can feel free and ask a question. You're fine.
Yeah. ask.
I doubt either of us are really trying to do this that incredibly well that we would be able to answer a question.
Yeah, I was just pogging out about the look, as far as I'm convinced, we've won because I got that that one water strike. That's all I need.
I'm glad.
Okay, yeah, he has a 3-move select he can do there. The
What's
most
up,
common
Kermit?
one is the shoulder charge.
Whoops. I was trying it.
Yep, I reckon he does shoulder charge here. No?
Me too. How many shots of coffee did I consume today? I had quite a bit of coffee today, more than usual. I think I've had like 4 or 5 coffees today.
Ooh, just
4.
that's
4. 4 is more than usual for me. Usually I have 2.
Hey, same. We didn't christen the cafe cast about discussing some coffee because the reason this name was selected is because we're both avid enjoyers of the bean water. Have you tried anything new in the world of cities?
Not really. New. Can't say that I have. I got the water strike. Hell yeah. Whoops.
Yeah, I like tea
Favorite-
as well. I just don't make it a personality trait.
That's mean. I feel personally offended. Coffee's in my name, dude.
Yeah, that's fine. Being a little goblin man's in my name. You expect me to not be jokingly mean? No, it's
Is that what your name means?
Have I not told you the origin of this name?
I thought it meant albumin.
Is that the sincere what you thought it meant?
No.
No.
I just like bringing up albumin forever and ever because you kept
It's
bringing
good
it up.
stuff. It's good stuff. I love to bring up the albumin. But no, Phalacin, I believe. Like, I had a book of little goblin fellas when I was younger, and I believe one of them was some variation of this name. Called, it was like Phalacin asterisk, the Roof Ripper. And I thought it was so funny that he was just a little goblin fella who likes to inconvenience people by ripping the tiles off their roofs. But I was like, yep, that's gonna be my WoW character. That's gonna be his name. And I dolled it up a little bit. And then yeah, it also helps that I enjoy the Rainbow Goblins by Masayoshi Takanaka.
I was hoping that's
As you
something to
do
with
as well.
it. I think it's neat that we both knew about that prior to meeting each other.
Yeah, I remember I
The
asked
odds
you,
of that are kind of nuts.
what have you been listening to? And you said you'd been listening to Seychelles, or Seychelles, I'm not sure how you say it.
It's Seychelles, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gog. I was feeling like some hot trash trying to make that work with a water strike. I haven't played with Courage or Water Strike at this playthrough, and it was feeling bad, so I just respect a regular hammer. I gave up.
So, we gave some variety there, in that I played Courage the whole time.
You played well the
basically-
whole time. I played badly the whole time.
Yeah, we've drifted over. Yeah, I've listened to the Rainbow Goblins by Primus as well. It's alright. It's alright.
I mean, I played with them on the Switch. I'd love to play with them again, Gog. I plan to. I just unlocked them recently, both of those Switch skills. So I'll be putting more time into them soon.
You got an A. How nice.
Nice. Do you want to do any more challenge quests? I like that feel.
Yeah, sure. If you wanted to do another ticket, even, I'd be cool for that.
Fine.
I'm
Let's do Tigrex.
Sorry, I'm not sure how.
All right, I'm gonna run this next.
Into that idea you are.
I felt really poor with Hammer there, so I was planning on just comfort picking. But you know what? We'll do it again.
You can comfort pick. I don't mind.
Nope, too late. If you want to choose our weapon before this next challenge quest, go ahead and type !ticket, and I'm probably gonna call this one pretty quickly, so we keep things moving here. So if you want to get in, make sure you do that now. Go ahead and type that in the chat so you can get your chance at picking what we use. And thank y'all for being here.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've been enjoying.
I'm glad I'm
today a
casting
lot.
with you tonight. I'm feeling like
Yeah.
less of an all-star. Well, I don't know if I ever feel like an all-star host, but I'm feeling like even less of an all-star host than usual. So I'm glad that you're. I feel like you are hard carrying this cast, sir.
It's a group effort. You know, it's an equal partnership. Sometimes you do a little carrying, sometimes I do a little carrying. Sometimes I play badly in the hunts, and sometimes I get that lit-ass water strike that I'm gonna live in forever, and Ice Tea better clipped it.
Cheers, Shinuchi.
Yeah, Shin is a good egg. You know Shin's actually a nuts hunter. I don't know if you've interacted with Shinuchi before.
No, I haven't.
Naked, EX Astalos. Oh, sorry, Bolt Reaver Astalos.
Sounds tough.
That, it's a fun watch.
Sounds sick.
No worries, Koki.
I'd like to watch it. Man, let me just want to play GU. Okay,
We could absolutely do a GU cast.
I just gotta get my capture card fixed. Next time I have some spare streaming investment money, I'll go ahead and I'll chuck it at a capture card because my capture card is, as we mentioned, on the fritz.
Oh, what a good term.
All right, Marths asks a big question for us. Would you be down for all weapon moves with invulnerable windows or block windows, so counters, innate iframes, guard points, etc., to have smaller windows, but also for longer actionable periods when in animation lag? So like basically you have more freedom to pull those moves off after other actions, let's say after a roll, after a sheath, or after an unsheath attack, after a move, after whatever it is, but they're harder to pull off. When you're in the ending, oh yeah, okay. I would say yes. I think that's fun because you still get, like, that's just giving you like a tougher challenge, but kind of making it able to be attempted in more situations. I think that's awesome. Yeah, I'm down for that, but I don't know if everybody would be.
I think the way that I would interpret that question is, should we lean into certain aspects of the weapon to make the distinction of what they were going for more clear? And the answer is sure. Like, make the counter on longsword, you know, rewarding but also hard to pull off. And if you fail it, it would also have some more drawbacks. Whereas, you know, in sword and shield, like being able to roll mid combo, like not having that sort of as big a committal element, you know, that works. Or at the very least, being able to block mid combo. Yeah, I think that would be perfectly fine. That would be really cool.
Brian and G is going to choose our weapon, by the way.
Ooh.
I drew the raffle.
We like Brian around these parts.
We have sword and shield. We have great sword. We have gun lance, switch axe, and bow. And this is against Tigrex.
Yeah,
Tigrexu.
old Tiggy buddy.
Shinuchi, I'd like to watch your hunt. I hope I get to. If Fal wants to share it with me, I'd like to watch it sometime. What do Gunlance and Greatsword have for their switch skills? Gunlance, or so Greatsword is tackle, 2-charge slash, adamant charge slash, so pretty much default. And then Gunlance has blast dash, ground splitter, and guard reload. Guard reload and blast dash, that's weird. And it is a what type Gunlance? It's a wide type Gunlance.
Yeah,
That's such a weird pairing. All right, Gunlance. Are we both doing Gunlance, Brian?
Yeah, you can pick one for each if you want.
Sure. All right, we're both doing Gunlance. Let's get it, Fal.
Cool.
We're gonna be blast dashing all over. That's so awkward. Yeah, it is. I think of guard reload being really good for long, so you can spam Wormstake. I think of blast dash being really good for normal, so you can spam full burst. And I don't think of either of those paired with a wide gun lance. That's for sure. Ooh, good idea. Oh well. All right, guard reload. Okay, so guard reload has some timing to it. I haven't tried it in this playthrough again yet. Could have just blocked that, I guess. Where after you do a guard reload and you've got your guarded period, there's a moment before you can actually press guard again, so you want to time it. Any guard skills? Guard up, but no guard. Thanks, game.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119,
I think offensive guard it looks like as well.
Oh, I tried to get cute with it. Didn't quite work.
This is not going well for me so far. That's okay.
Same.
Didn't realize he was gonna turn around and go after me. All right, I think I'm formulating a game plan for this in my head.
Mine was a full burst wide gun lance, as is tradition.
Oh, shoot. I didn't do a quick reload. Only the quick reload has guard to it. I forgot that. You just made gnocchi. It was delicious. I don't know if I've ever had gnocchi. What just happened, dude?
Oh, I had gnocchi for dinner last night.
At least we have a Vedic extender. Gnocchi? What do you say, gnocchi?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi? What?
Yeah, gnocchi. It's Italian.
Sorry.
Why are you sorry? Not
I
everyone
said it wrong.
can. Yeah, how dare you? A word that you've never had to pronounce out loud. You said it wrong. It happens. Now you know.
I'll probably still say gnocchi.
Oh yeah,
I think that's a Midwestern thing. I think that's a Midwestern thing. I've definitely heard other people say gnocchi. Gnocchi? Is that it? No way.
Yeah. Gnocchi. Gnocchi on there.
All right. News to me. All good though.
I had that for dinner last night. What's tonight? I think I'm gonna get pizza tonight.
I had some nice rice and curry that Annie made for us.
How's your Mexican food yesterday?
Oh, it was really good. I have leftovers. I might eat them after stream.
Excuse me? They fixed the Tigrex hitbox when I didn't want them to. I wanted to get hit by that. Tigrex hitbox, typical. Sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's too good.
I'm formulating my game plan for this. I like this actually. I actually really like this. I'm doing like a janky poke shell where I'm using the quick reload to get out of dodge if he starts charging at me. I'm using Blast Dash to chase him down when he does his Tigrex charge thing. Because we don't have guard, almost all of his moves knock me out of Wyvern's Fire. Dang, missed him.
Oh yeah, Wyvern's Fire.
At a far enough range, it does not display the animation for that.
Yeah, I don't like Tigrex regular. I love Grimclaw, I love Brute, and I love Molten. Regular, you know, take him or leave him, I guess.
Oops, that's not going to be a quick reload.
We're getting a cute little raid from the world's cutest gamer.
Sweet.
I guess it's not little, if it's the world's cutest. Thanks for the raid. Grimclaw not stinky.
Welcome Raiders from the World's Cutest Gamer stream.
That was Resident Evil 2.
Why am I back hopping if I have Blast Dash?
It's that they do less charges, mods. I hope the world's treating everyone right. Also, I just kind of like the coloration of them more.
Ooh, that's intelligent using items. Wow.
I'm hoping that I'm not gonna blast you.
Don't worry about it.
I got back into white just by using the funny thing.
I'm still not using any silk binds. Sounds nice though.
Are you playing the remake, World's Cutest Gamer, of Resident Evil 2?
Hey. I think you need to really know life wide gunlance regardless of its issues and really enjoy the counterplay. What would you describe as its issues, Wrath of Gog? I mean, I guess poke shell is kind of like boring, I guess, but I feel like all three gunlance types in this game have enough options and like options that lead between one another that they're actually kind of interesting. Like you can go for KOs with wide gunlance, you can go for charged shells with wide gunlance, you can go for poke shell with wide gunlance, you could even use blast dash to keep up with the monster like we just were. The worm stake feels super central but doesn't do a ton of damage. I don't think it feels super central to wide. Wish it was a bit stronger for the KO. I think of it like totally as like just like a one-off in the quest. Like, hey, wide gunlance gets to get like 1 KO a quest. Is how I feel like is that how I think about it, I guess. I'm gonna duck out to the bathroom again. If you want to pick what challenge quest we do next, Phal, I would be happy to do another one with you. Why don't we let chat pick our weapon again? I'll start up another weapon raffle as well.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna work out how to bootleg do that.
No, you're good. Don't worry. I'm starting it up.
No one. Okay, the challenge quest that we're going to be doing is going to be... I think it's going to be Zenoga. I think that'll be good. No? What's wrong, Moths? Can I tell you a joke? No. Is there... Just to provide some context, is there a Monster Hunter game that's acknowledged as like the hardest one? I think it depends on your definition of hardest. I think most people would agree that 3U is pretty difficult, but that's if you want to remove some of the jank. Like a lot of people will tell you, you know, Freedom 1 or anything from first gen is just nuts. I don't know. Tell you jokes. I'm not really good at the whole... That's a hot answer. You reckon? I think 3U is harder because you have to do so much more for your gear. But no, I don't think that there's like an acknowledged most difficult one. Yeah. You reckon, mods? Depends. The variations in difficulty? Well, for instance, in 3 Ultimate, you have to do a billion hunts to get stuff that you need. In Freedom Unite, I found it has pretty janky old hitboxes. That sort of trend towards it being hard, but not in a fun way. Yeah, balanced doesn't mean not difficult. Why did I even attempt to answer this question? Sorry. You guys, yeah, whatever. Whatever. They're all hard for different reasons to different people. And the real answer here, World's Cutest Gamer, is people are going to tell you the one that they find hardest. I don't think that there is an agreed upon one. And if anyone says it's Freedom 1, that game's just old.
I'm back. What's the question we're talking about?
Oh, we're discussing the Monster Hunter game that would be agreed upon to be the most difficult. And I said it would be unfair to pick anything from first gen.
I think that would just be incorrect.
Yeah.
Because I mean, well,
Okay,
honestly, it wouldn't be incorrect. You'd have to really define what you meant when you meant hardest Monster Hunter. Like, in what way?
Yeah.
There's different types of difficulty through the series. The main one being like Monster Hunter 1, the difficulty isn't necessarily like from an execution or like from what I've seen about first generation. Not necessarily from an execution or like a reactionary standpoint. It's like this whole game's a struggle. You gotta claw your way up from nothing, collect all the mushrooms yourself, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's largely.
Whereas like
what I was.
I don't know. In my opinion, I think it's somewhere between GU, 4U, and Free Me Night, but also World might have some stuff that's up there in terms of like just raw reactionary difficulty.
Yeah, I think World's like final 2 monsters would make a very strong case in the form of Elatrion and Fatalis.
It really depends on what you're talking about, and it would be subjective because different people would mesh better with an older difficulty or a newer difficulty. It's really not something you can. I mean, you could try and objectively measure it. Like you'd have to take it you'd have to take like a survey of like, okay, how many moves does this monster have? How much HP does it have? How fast is it? How many like supplies do you have in the box? Like all that sort of stuff. Like how much damage can you conceivably bring to it? Like you'd have to try and objectively quantify it, and it would be super difficult to do that.
Yeah.
By the way, if anyone wants to pick the weapon we use for the challenge quest on Zinogre, now is the time to go ahead and type !ticket in the chat because I'm about to call it.
Yeah, they're all difficult for different reasons. Doesn't matter, just play because it's fun.
I think Free Me Night is very difficult towards the end of G rank, both because the hitboxes are very obtuse and janky, the monsters have lots of HP, they do hit for tons of damage, and they do move quite quickly and enraged, but it's a little bit more about a little bit more about prediction, a little bit less about reaction, so it's not quite so fast-paced as some of the older games. It's more about acknowledging, like, okay, I know that after this move, Rathalos can do these 3 things, so if I commit to anything here, I have the potential to get decked, versus, okay, I know that this move doesn't have any follow-ups, so I'm safe to do something here, and making those sorts of decisions consistently for, like, 20 to 30 minutes sometimes in G-Rank when the monsters are really, really high in HP. Whereas some of the other games, as you get a little bit newer, are more like, okay, this monster hits really hard, but it's more about I need to be safe and learn how to react to all of its moves quickly enough where I can get out the freaking way, because otherwise I'm going to cart 3 times before the quest is over. So it's a little different.
I think that's a fair comparison. More like a fighting game than a Souls game. But again, no, it's all different.
Yeah.
There's so many different aspects as to what someone might consider hard in Monster Hunter that it's impossible to give a.
I think the same can be said for easiest Monster Hunter 2. People like to meme on like, oh, Rise easy baby game, World easy baby game, Portable third easiest game in the series. And like there are aspects you can talk about in each of those games that make them easier. There's no way to quantify it really. Yeah. Even if you think it's super cut and dry, I think you're wrong.
Yeah. We do some bear spinning. Hey Soul, thanks for the 10 bits.
And what Marth just said is pretty critical. It's a balance of consistency and kind of making consistent good decisions versus speedy critical thinking or speedy reaction based stuff. And in all the games, there's a different balance of that. What Mark said is in my opinion, pretty spot on. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna see what we're gonna use for this Zoogle quest. Jack McBride gets to choose it. And let's go ahead and let's duck into the actual quest here so Jack can choose.
I find it interesting that the same amount of people got a ticket each time.
Here you go. Want to go ahead and start the quest for us there? Thanks. Yeah. All right. We have Sword and Shield, Longsword, Hunting Horn, Charge Blade, and Light Bowgun. Again, you can choose both of us to use the same thing, or you can split us up. I think some folks, GOG, when they say easy game, they mean progression was easy. Whereas some people, when they say easy game, mean this game overall is easy. And it's different for every person. Power of the Dude ×2? Oh, hell yeah.
I've never used Beat of Resonance.
I think I've heard it's not good, but I won't be trying it anyways. Because of the Silkbind thing. But I remember people not particularly liking it. I don't know. Maybe it's cool.
I was wondering why I was moving so slow. It's because I hadn't had self-improvement yet.
Yep. Nice job.
Alright. You grab first Infernal Melody, I'll grab second.
I don't have mine up yet.
I don't either. I don't know what this bead does. Oh, it eats the bar for both of us anyway.
Huh?
Yeah, it ate my bar.
Really? Wait, does it affect it? Wait, does it really apply Infernal Melody to both of us?
Yeah. Did you
I
not
didn't know
know that it was a party-wide buff?
No! I thought it was just for the Hunting Horn user.
No, it's a party buff.
Really?
Oh
no, I didn't
still
know that.
have mine. It just grayed mine out.
Interesting. They like have a restriction on how much you can double them up.
Yeah. I don't think that they would stack.
Hey, it's my buddy Lassany. Hello, Lassany. How you doing?
Hello.
Oh, screwed that up. Nice. Doing good. How you guys been? We've had a pretty nice night tonight. Was studying before your lectures? Props to you. How is your school going? I haven't heard from you exactly about how school's going recently, Les. Did you put him to sleep?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
You don't have bombs or anything.
No.
Bomb. They gave them to us, and I just assumed there would be bombs. There was in fact not. No, I'm not dead. In that way.
I think so. I think so, God.
What does this bead do anyway?
I don't know.
Someone in chat.
Oh, it's there on the ground. I see it. I think
Yeah.
it gives me buffs when I walk by it? I don't know. I actually don't know. I never used it. Doubles the things you do? What does that mean? Like double health regen? Oh, okay. So it improves your song buffs. That's cool. I can see why that would not be the choice that most people made instead of big damage.
Oh, guys, all tuck it out. Tried to be cute and just walk under it.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh. No, I'm too far away.
Do you prefer the color palette of regular Zen or Stygian? Regular Zen for me personally.
Yeah, Stygian's nice to look at when I'm feeling a bit 3 Days Grace, a bit Linkin Park.
Ouch. Nice job.
Nice, nice, nice. I don't think our time will be an S, but I think we'll be disappointingly close.
We could try again. I like Hunting Horn versus this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, we could.
If you want to. If not, that's fine. What's the color palette? Oh, sorry.
I was
Mark-
just saying.
Marth asks, what's a color palette you want to see on an existing monster introduced to a new version like a subspecies? I would love something to have Nergigante's color.
That black and like purple.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A rank by a minute. You want to try again?
I told you we'd be disappointingly close, yeah.
Want to try and get an S together?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Yep, I love get a little S.
Oh, I posted it. I'll take mine off, don't worry.
Gotcha.
What colors does Nergigante have? He's gray, but he's also like yellow and purple. He's really cool. There's little bits of color to him that's really neat. Ice-T.
I'm gonna be scum and use Sword and Shield this time.
Do it.
The challenge has been done.
I will boost your damage.
Thank you. I'm trying to play it like World now.
With the turn combos.
Yeah. It's not working.
Whack.
Oh.
Ooh, look at that para.
Let's do it.
Oops.
I did not ice them. I've been playing Hunting Horn, just not with a set. Oh, how'd that hit me?
Oh, shoot. I thought he was going to charge up.
Actually, need to sharpen for once.
Oh, really? Wow, the tail has a hitbox during that. The more you know.
Oh, it does.
Hey! Q-tab's out of fashion in this game. The turnaround back slams with Hunting Horn. Should be getting a KO soon enough.
There we go. That'll do it.
There it is. We're coming up on 5 minutes here. I think we're doing better. Hey, get wrecked. Oh, shoot. Nice one. There we go. Got our S.
When you say shoot, do you mean you had a timer and we went over 5? Oh, let's see.
No, we're good. You can look in the top left corner of the clock.
4:19? Man.
We got quite a bit quicker. That was fun.
Yeah, like a whole minute 30.
Yeah.
It would probably have been better had I have not stood there trying to hit the head and like allowing myself to be hit by your swings.
Oh, I'm sorry if I was punching you.
No,
I was just going. I was just mashing.
I tried so hard to word it as though it was not your fault because it wasn't.
All right. Let's see.
Is there anything else you have G'd up for the day?
Hototopora. I want to do Tigrex again with Sword and Shield though.
Alrighty, let's do it.
I looked at the Apex challenge that's in there and I was like, we could try it. And I'm like, we're just gonna get dumpstered. I haven't fought many of those Apexes in that quest.
Said it was a Tigrex, huh?
This is a Tigrex. There is a triple Apex challenge quest though.
No,
everyone in chat is saying do it.
Yeah, what do they know?
Oh no. I've made a grave mistake. Yeah. You see the mistake we made?
Yeah.
I don't even know how this works. I've literally never tried it. I tried it like once and I was like, oh, I hate that.
Yeah, same. I love the slide.
Now we're just playing the game? Yeah. What's wrong with just playing the game?
Yeah. What do you want from me?
Shoot.
We got in our requisite 3 hours of discussion. How long do you want stimulating, hard-hitting Monster Hunter facts for? Podcast harder? I don't know. We did the topics. I have ideas for the next topic, but it's better suited to its own episode.
I'm having fun just playing with my buddy Phal.
Yeah. I'm on it. Awesome. That's how I read it in my head every time.
Exhaust dagger is just the status activating. Yep, it's when your exhaust status procs go high enough to proc the actual lowering of the status number. You get an exhaust stagger as well. Whoops.
No, I was counting on some aspect of his hitbox colliding with me from my Metsu.
Whoops.
Also, Uchi, for the sponsorship, I could just tell you to like go buy a Manscaped product. You don't actually, you know, I don't have to be sponsored by them to shill. I don't own one, but yeah, go buy one.
What are we sponsoring now?
Manscaped?
Why?
I don't know. Uchi wants us to have a sponsor. Do you think we would be more trustworthy if we had a sponsor?
No.
No? You don't want a half-hour podcast to be us reading sponsor, fights?
I'm good.
Stop hitting over me, you goof!
Are you wanting more aggressive hitboxes for your Shoryugeki?
Yeah!
I had that happen with Charge Blade recently. It was kind of funny. His hitboxes are really lenient in this game. It's weird, but also
yeah,
sometimes they're not.
They're actually functional. That's the issue. Tigrex isn't even weak to lightning, is he?
Isn't what?
Is Tigrex weak to lightning?
Yes. It's his primary elemental weakness.
You know, I always imagine that it's Frost for like no good reason. I'm just always like, yep, it's Frost. I know it's not. I've been told like 10 times it's not.
All good.
You know what? I don't want to be sponsored by any of those big YouTube sponsors. I want to like a local deli. Just to, give us a sticker.
I've thought about what it would take to get sponsored by like a local establishment. It wouldn't make any sense. They would gain no business from it. But I don't know. Getting sponsored by like my favorite coffee shop would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be neat.
Only something we like actually enjoy. A local deli would be so good, God. But it'd have to be like hyper local. It would make sense if you were like a streamer for like a local tournament scene, right? Like maybe you ran local tournament events, then you could totally get local business sponsors. That'd be kind of neat.
It would be, I guess.
Get my own coffee shop to sponsor the stream. Maybe someday, Uchi.
Do like people in your real life know
about what?
That you stream?
Oh yeah. I don't like. It's not how I introduce myself, but like if I work in a place long enough, I'll tell folks I stream. Yeah.
Yeah. Comes up from time to time.
Yeah, so they know about it. Over time, they'll gradually hear about just how like drastically weird my sleep schedule is in order to enable this.
Mm. Why doing it?
They see me sitting there on my laptop editing videos of my face playing video games.
An A rank by 18 seconds. Man, I would be way too embarrassed to introduce myself.
Would you guys want to do the full area arena quest? Find setting up strats for S ranks and those are interesting. Yeah, here I have one for us. I have one for us to try.
I've S ranked all of them in this game, actually. Oh fuck. All right.
Let's see how far we get. Context: neither of us have fought these guys in a while.
Yeah, I'll let you say that for us. Why not?
I mean, I haven't. Have you?
Yep. No. Oh, I gotta say I'm ready. I'm not. I am.
I'm using duels. Nobody can stop me. Yeah, all your favorites here, huh?
My weapon. Someone else pick my weapon. I don't mind. I'll take Moth's. Moth said one for you.
A cooking Twitch streamer, and you're like, I think it was like, what is Twitch? No, I don't know. I feel like introducing yourself as a streamer, unless you're trying to be like a huge popular streamer streaming of a huge popular game, is like you're just gonna get thought of as like the stereotype. So I don't really introduce myself as a. I'll talk more about how I play a specific series on Twitch, or like I play like sort of a niche series on Twitch.
Yes. Yeah, I just try and keep my mouth shut.
You wouldn't put it on a resume?
Oh. The worst part is
Real talk.
I do wonder where it would fit on a resume.
It's on my resume.
Is it? Right.
I mean, granted, I was applying to freaking cafes recently, but I mean, like, I was also talking with technology companies that were in the area, like IT.
Oh, this is a depth lance.
Oh, God.
Just tuck myself into his gooch and let the constant prods do the job.
Right. I don't remember his patterns at all. This is going to be interesting. At least they don't deal that much damage. Slam? No. What was that animation? It's been so long since I fought this thing. Holy crap.
Yeah, what's he do?
I don't know. What does he do? Are you good over there?
Boneless version of T-Lord. I was stunned. I wasn't just like hanging out there for no good reason. Poke. Yeah, I'm just tucked in there, huh?
What is that move? Holy crap, I forgot about that one. This is fun.
Poke. I do like some of Apex's moves.
I like all these fights quite well. I mean, I don't remember them because it's been like 6 months since I last fought one of these guys, but man, how much fun. Well,
I hope Dog Crush Hell's happy that I'm playing Lance.
hey, he's dead. I'm stunned. Right as he died. Oh no, Mizu's here. Right as he died, a thunder spawned and hit me. Did Foul stun you? No, players can't stun each other.
I wish.
Now
That's
this
what
thing,
MonHun needs, I think. PvP.
This thing is going to be interesting. All I remember is it's got some moves that are like, hey, react to me or die, and I don't really remember them to react to them. See if I remember the tell.
Oh yeah, the fun thing about Mizu is that tail slam on Soul Seer is just insta-death. If you ever look up like the values for certain attacks that it has, it's like the tail is so designed to one-shot you, it's like, yeah, it does 14 times the initial damage it's meant to. I always thought that was fun.
Does it do something after this move? Well, now it doesn't. Nice,
like,
dude.
Does that ice thing?
I'm kind of nervous about it in the corner. Alright, I don't remember what this move is either. Hopefully nothing will hit me down here, right? Surely
I just
not.
spin. He just spin.
Whoop. Right, and right, I remember that part now. That's what I think I was remembering about when he did that move the first time. Is that happens at the end of the spin. Always caught me off guard if I was trying to punish it early. Slam, slam. Yeah, this is coming back. There it is. I'm very lucky that wasn't going at me.
I was way too early there. It's funny, the double thrust or whatever you want to call it on the lance. I remembered that
Oh
timing
gosh.
real well at one point, and now it's all gone.
Ow.
What happened? I just like crashed into the side of the mountain or something. The game was like not happy with what I was doing.
Nice.
Because the reason it has Hellfire, I assume, is because Soul Seer had regular fire, and Hellfire seems more interesting, I guess.
Nice break.
What's that its name in the Japanese version? Divine Sight Izitsune? Someone will know.
I don't remember. Ouch.
Some of the deviants had cooler names.
Oh, the zip zap. Sorry, buddy.
Are you apologizing to me?
Yeah, for carding.
Oh, well, I forgive you. It's alright.
Thanks.
This isn't Soul Seer? Yeah, you're right. It's showing the equivalence, though.
Nice block.
It hit me.
Did you? Oh, I heard it hit something. It sounded like it hit his shield.
Heavenly Eye? I thought it was a Divine Sight, but... I have got up!
Nice.
Bolty's Japanese name? I don't know Bolt Reaver's name, but his name is Ryzex.
All of these, when they're appearing, say question mark, question mark, question mark, because it's my first time freaking seeing them.
Yeah, same.
Thanks for doing this with me.
Oh, it's cool.
I really don't remember this guy's moveset at all.
Oof.
I love that that's still a pattern. The double tailspin, the classic.
I had to just spin around and guess what was happening there. And I guessed wrong.
Hey Markcast, welcome. To anybody who's just coming in, we're playing with my buddy Phalacin tonight. Or, I guess Phalacin and I are playing together tonight for our podcast. We're a little bit done with talking now. We're basically just doing a challenge quest together, which has been good fun.
Yeah. I'll be real. I slept real bad yesterday, and I'm still like kind of recovering from it.
You're doing pretty good. I have not slept much.
I meant on the talking phone.
Oh, yeah.
Before we were doing, like when we talked yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I'm not getting back to sleep. I'd slept like an hour and a half, and then my power went out.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'll try and take a nap, and I got an extra 25 minutes. So I was like, okay, I guess this is just not happening.
I'm stunned.
Yeah, Massacre Demon Diablos.
I'm dead. Not dead? Not dead. Okay.
You absolute rascal. You devil.
He is, isn't he?
I had to like turn away.
Props to you. I'm having a decent time at this because I'm just like running away and dodging whenever he does stuff. You have to like think about blocking.
For what it's worth, I'm out of heals.
Are there more in the box, maybe?
Maybe. We'll find out when I die.
Which isn't right now. There are vigor wasps in the area, by the way. Oh, never
Let's
mind.
go. Doesn't
Good
even
stuff,
matter, baby.
dude.
Easy claps.
Wow, Marth's just new. First try, Phalacin, and you didn't card at all. Nice job.
Thanks.
That was fun. Those monsters are sick.
They are good stuff. I'm spoiled because I know the EX versions of them, and I'm just like, their movesets are cool. I love Bloodbath Diablos.
Never fought one. Might be time to change that. We were not far off of S rank.
No, not at all. Bummer.
All right, Phal. What are you feeling? You feeling ready for sleep?
What, like bedtime?
Yeah.
Like in real life?
Mm-hmm. I guess
6
for you it's like
PM,
middle. I was gonna say for you it's like middle of the day.
Yeah, no. If you're done, I feel like we got some good conversation done, and we had some fun, and the challenges at the end were cool, and I'm excited to do it again.
Mm-hmm. It'll be nice to do this again in another few weeks.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I guess we ought to sign off then. That was a good way to end the evening.
Yeah. In any case, I guess if it wasn't anyone's first time here, this is the Monster Hunter Cafe cast. We generally kind of show up with a few topics we want to discuss and hang out, maybe do some goofy things. Like today we had our producer Ryozo Sugimoto listening over our shoulders for our top 3 returning monsters we want to see in Rise, which is a good time. If you haven't, please go ahead and check out my buddy Phalacin over on Twitch. Their streamer is awesome. They stream Monster Hunter, but they also stream a variety of other games. Please feel free and check them out.
Yeah, it was super good to be here. If you had heard the way we were discussing some of the topics tonight, I hope you guys can take that away and apply it to how you view things in media. If you don't know my friend Rist, click the button. They stream Monster Hunter every single day, dang near 2 p.m. And it's not the middle of the night for most of you on that one, so I think that's pretty exciting.
Will I 1v1 Phal and Rust no scope only? What's Rust?
In Rust? That's a map in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Is it really? Okay. See, if you said Dust 2, I would have known what you'd said. What you meant.
It's like, it's boomer enough of a reference, I think. Actually, Dust 2 is probably...
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, intervention only, no scope.
Is Rust the one with the frickin' like industrial like machinery thing in the middle? Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, that's it. That's the ye olden day map that everyone likes to bring up.
All right, I'm gonna go get some rest. Thank you for a nice stream, everybody. I'll see you guys for some more Monster Hunter soon, whether you're tuning into Phalacin's stream or my stream. Oh, I hope you guys have a nice night. Who should we raid? Do you want to pick somebody to raid?
I don't really have anyone on at the moment.
Okay,
so
let me take a look.
I encourage you to choose whomsoever you like.
My Twitch is taking a moment to load up here. One moment. Who are we gonna raid? I think we're gonna raid our buddy Mega Radar. They're streaming Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
I forget, do they have an underscore in their name?
They do not. It's just Raid Mega Radar. There we go. Stick around if you want to watch Radar's stream. I don't know what exactly they're playing tonight, but it looks like they have an open hub going in what is many people's, I don't know. I know many people have a soft spot for GU, so if you want to watch some of that tonight, stick around, check out Radar's stream. See you guys pretty soon. Phalacin, thank you for an excellent cast.
Yeah. I will talk to you guys later. I might be back later for Final Fantasy Tactics. I doubt it.
Ooh, cozy.
But we'll see.
All right. Y'all have a good one, and cheers.
Good
Good night.